And we are live. Welcome to the
back.
Connection.
Welcome to the Connection. We're here with another episode of the Connection, where we're connecting the dots between hip hop and mental health. I'm Shu,
I'm Hendo.
and we're gonna jump right into it. Our first topic of the day, changed my mind. We're gonna talk about choice or disease. Is addiction a choice, or is addiction a disease?
And we got my man's North in here in case he want to jump in on the conversation as well. Shout out to North. I'm just gonna come out and say it. It's a fucking disease. Like, there's too many scientific facts about addiction that leads to it being a disease. And you can argue that, hey, you pick up a heroin needle, then you chose to pick up that heroin needle. But at the same fucking time, bro, there's so many things besides drugs that are an addiction. For one, food, sex, gambling. These are all things that we as humans do.
Right.
You know, sex is a primal thing. Everyone is gonna have sex once in their fucking life at least. So how am I to blame for being a sex addict for just having sex once and then being addicted to it? How is that my fault? And how am I let's expand that even more on sex, because a lot of sex addicts have been raped and molested and sexually harassed or have some type of chemical imbalance that makes them addicted to sex. So why the fuck, when it comes to drug addiction, is it not the same thing? People are so emotionally biased towards this because of the fact that drug addicts do primal things in order to survive, like steal. You know, it changes their whole personality.
There's a big uproar. I think people are in a panic because, just like you said, it causes so much commotion within the communities because it tears families apart and, you know, fucks people's lives up. I think that's really what it comes down to. People are just in a panic and don't know how to react to it. But I think they need to take the time to educate themselves. Like, I myself have never been an addict. I don't know how to relate. So I'm not really choosing a side here. You know what I mean? I've dove in and kind of did my research, you know, and tried to understand. I know addicts firsthand, you know. Been around them my whole life. So I tried to learn to the best of my ability to just kind of understand their situation and if I actually can I form an opinion. Do I actually think it is a choice or, you know, a disease? But I would honestly say if I had I'm not really picking a side here. I'm staying open-minded. I can argue both sides, honestly. I think that it could be a choice because that first time you go to use, I think that if you got yourself to that point where you are weak enough to do it, I think that's where I get hung up. That's where I get hung up because, like, you could argue both sides. You could argue both sides on that. You could say it's a choice, or you could say it's a disease. You know what I mean?
Well, everything is a
I can't really. I don't have, like, cold hard evidence to back it up, so I really can't. I don't know.
Everything to a certain degree is a choice. I'm not gonna sit here and hold.
What's your point on if you think it's you obviously think it's a disease?
I know it's a disease.
All right, so back that up for me. Like, let me hear your side of it.
Okay, so
I'll tell you how I feel.
So a lot of people are saying it's a choice, right? All right, obviously it's a choice. So is going outside and walking. You feel me? You wake up every day and make the choice to go out to a hazardous environment because you could die every day. But
right.
does that stop you from going outside? No, it doesn't. So at the end of the day, when it comes to addiction, you have to understand that in the 80s, bro, the 80s pumped so much heroin into impoverished neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like, the government did that shit. The crack era is because of the government.
Right.
The heroin epidemic is because of the government putting it in so many different claustrophobic
this is true.
It is true, and you can look it up.
Those are facts. That I will back up.
And
100%.
When you put people in an already claustrophobic environment, then add drugs to it or any other deadly catalyst, of course they're going to be mentally skewed into making a choice that is bad for them.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
It's all experimenting. They did an experiment on rats.
So let me bring up a point. What do you think about a kid who didn't have that kind of life, didn't grow up like that, didn't grow up
like a rich boy.
Yeah, like you got a rich boy growing up in the suburbs, but now all of a sudden, like you would think he had a picture perfect life. Like everybody wants this kid's life, but all of a sudden he's addicted to fucking crack.
Because addiction is hereditary and or genetic. Having an addictive personality is real.
Now that I can attest to. Like I have an addictive personality. If I did drugs, I promise you I'd be dead within weeks to a month.
People say all the time, like, oh, just because you have an addictive personality doesn't mean that you have to give into it. But live in my shoes. Live in my shoes. Right. Because just because I'm saying I have an addictive personality, I'm not giving you the depth of it. I'm not giving you the depth of how extreme it is. I could have an addictive personality and not know how to control it at all.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, here I am being a fucking drug addict. So how mad at me, how much can you call me a lowlife for something I can't control as far as mental illness goes?
Nah, see, that's where I draw the line. Like, I don't think people need to be called, especially if you've never been there, if you've never been in that person's shoes, if you've never faced, addiction. Don't call someone a scumbag or a loser or, a lowlife because you don't understand their situation. You don't know why they feel that way. You don't know. You really don't have the scientific evidence to prove if it is, a disease or not. So... I think we need to stop pointing fingers and kind of understand this thing that we're talking about here before we...
Even if addiction is a choice, why in humanity do we have such a disdain for helping other people get clean?
Right.
Right.
And
it's the same thing as when people are like, oh, we should put all of our money into America and, help the veterans. But how much money do you give to a homeless person? Because a lot of veterans make up homeless people.
Yeah, you can't turn your back on people that are literally... I think that's the fine line is people don't understand what those people are going through. Like, it's a lonely, dark world. Like, they're in their own world, fucked up. And they might not be... See, that's the problem. Like, they might not be asking for help. Maybe the addicts don't know they have a problem or don't know they need to get help. But everybody around them, if you're pointing fingers, like calling them you're a dope head and you're a fucking loser, like that's not helping the problem. You know what I mean? People need to stand up for those people that are too weak to stand up for themselves and help them. You know what I'm saying? You can't turn your back and give up on those people. They need you.
I most definitely agree. I feel like...
But I do believe those people need to find it in themselves to want to get better or get right. You know what I mean? They have to understand the importance of mental health. Mental health is survival. You can't survive in the world without strong mental health. That's the foundation of everything.
People have to understand that we as humans on a biological level evolved differently than animals, but we are still animals. So let me give you this comparison. If a tiger is in the jungle starving for 6 days and then sees a whole field of antelope, what is he going to do? Completely massacre that family of antelope,
right?
Due to his primal need for food.
Yep.
If I'm a dopehead, excuse my language, if I'm a heroin addict and I'm withdrawing and I'm dope sick and I'm literally sick because this is real. I've seen people get physically sick from withdrawal.
Same.
What is my primal thought going to be? To steal money from my mom's purse.
Right.
And it's the same thing as a lion having no regard for an antelope's family as me having no regard for my mom's money. You feel me? It's the same instinctive pattern. It only looks different because humans have a value of morality.
And it's a never-ending cycle.
But to a primal fucking T, that's all that an addict is instinctive because the drug tells them this is the only thing you really need to survive. You don't need to eat. You don't need to sleep. You don't need to have sex. You don't need to even play video games. All you need is heroin. All you need is meth. All you need is crack. All you need is da-da-da-da-da. And it's the same thing with sex addicts. All you need is sex.
How do we break the cycle and throw the wrench in? Like, how do we do that? What are the steps you think we need to start taking to help the world kind of better educate themselves on this and fix the problem? Like, what is the solution?
Honestly, bro, they need to read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. Read a psychology book. Read a science book. Read a biology book. It's all fucking there. I don't have any sympathy for people who have no idea what knowledge is, or who have no idea. Like, why would you literally go out of your way to oppose information that 97% of the scientific fucking world agree on?
This is why knowledge is, I always say, like, people say knowledge is power. I always say knowledge is potential power, because it's how you use it. You potentially could use it as power, but some people don't, they don't tap into all the resources that they have to educate themselves and become wise on something. So it's potential power.
And everybody don't comprehend the same way.
No, they don't.
No.
You got three people that read the same thing, and everybody have different opinions about what they read or interpreted a different way.
I think that even is kind of fucking retarded. We were having this conversation last night.
I mean, everybody, everybody comprehends and picks up and takes in information different. Like, that's why there's so many different religions and stuff like that, because people comprehending different. People have their own feel about what they think is right and what they think is wrong.
But even with perception, I don't understand how someone could perceive. Like, if I go up to you and tell you, hey, if you shoot that man, you're going to hell. So how does another person interpret that as like, hey, if I shoot that man in the name of God, I'm not going to hell? Like, I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me, because because in religion, in Western religion, civilization especially, we have used so many different facets of the Bible and Quran and other things religiously to take down other countries and put democracy in other countries where they didn't want it. You feel me? Because it's the biblical thing to do. Even back in the day when the Crusaders went to the Ottoman Empire and completely took their culture, their resources, and gave them Christianity. It doesn't make any sense. You feel me? Right. You can't go into someone else's territory and tell them I'm right just because I interpret it different. It doesn't make sense.
No,
because the Bible is as mysterious as it may be. So many things that are vital of the Bible and vital to faith are basically in black and white. Right. In the Quran as well. You feel me?
Well, if you notice, we do that here too. I mean, a lot of people, they take stuff, and like I said, so many times that we take the smallest things and interpret it different. It's just like if you look in the Bible where it says, turn the other cheek. You got people that'll get that and take that in different ways. You got some people that actually thinks it means turn the other cheek and let them hit you in the other cheek.
Right.
Fuck that.
No, it's real rap. Like, you got people that be like, I'm not going to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. God said turn the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you got the ones that are taking and be like, and understand that.
Yeah, sure, abuse me.
Yeah, it doesn't mean let somebody do it, because you're not supposed to be a fool also.
Right.
Yeah.
So people take and interpret stuff different, and people take stuff that people take and interpret different and use it to their advantage.
Right.
I think manipulation is definitely a big part of it.
Because it is a big part of it.
Yeah, because you can take something and tell somebody that didn't comprehend it the same way, and they didn't comprehend it that way, and use it as your power.
Use it to
like, for example, if you tell 10 village idiots to go and do something and spread propaganda, those 10 village idiots just became the wisest men in the fucking world.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
And it's the same thing with addiction, bro. It's literally the same thing. So many people have arguments that the pharmaceutical company propagates the addiction being a disease so they can make more money off Narcan and pharmaceuticals and shit like that. But, like, peep, bipolar disorder is real.
Yeah.
And the pharmaceutical company makes billions of dollars off people like you and me.
And they got too much money tied up and invested into it to just let it stop. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're not going to stop that money stream from coming in.
So if bipolar disorder...
You want to fix that problem.
Exactly. So if bipolar disorder is a real scientific mental illness and the pharmaceutical company already propagates it and without putting any myths in your head about it, why is addiction different? It doesn't make any sense.
So I think the real problem, the root of the problem is people are misusing their power.
Yeah.
They're abusing it, you know what I mean?
And people misuse their opinions as well.
People in position of power are fucking abusing it. And they're forcing everybody to suffer because of it.
Like, Pete, bro, I guarantee you if Chris Brown were to go on live television in front of millions of people and tell him that he suffered from cocaine addiction, so many people would be like, hey, let's pray for Chris Brown. Let's get Chris Brown some help. Da, da, da. Or not even just Chris Brown, any fucking celebrity. But the minute your local crackhead goes to jail for doing some crackhead shit, he's a piece of garbage.
Right.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. It makes no kind of sense
of his
to me.
Status and who they think he is.
Like, how do we praise people
himself.
like Kurt Cobain and Amy Winehouse and Jimi Hendrix and say that they were musical legends, don't say anything about their addiction, but we can go to someone that we knew since grade school that's just coincidentally a junkie now and step over them when they're homeless? It makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
But you want to...
At the end of the day, we're all people. We all deserve the same, rightful treatment.
Most definitely.
But I think what it comes down to is people look at those people like you didn't amount to anything. You're a scumbag, like we were talking about. I don't think that's right. So I agree with you there.
Money doesn't have anything to do with morals.
Right, money and status doesn't make you. So
you feel me? Funk Flex beat the fuck out of his girlfriend all the time, and he's one of the richest DJs.
You just get
all
respected.
The time.
Like a book is judged by its cover. Unfortunately, the world we live in. And like for example, like I'll go in the street, I'll wear some streetwear, and I might not. I get looked at like every other person. But when yesterday, I had a suit on all day. I was walking around. Everybody said what's up to me. Everybody. I don't care what race you were. I don't care what age you were. Every time I walked in a building, they thought I was someone important. Mm-hmm. So because they thought I was someone, they're like, hey, how you doing? Like, this dude went out of his way. I went in a store yesterday. This dude went out of his way to say hello to me. He was in mid-conversation with his wife. As I'm walking up, I watched him ignore her, straight cold-faced her, and she was like, looking at him like, why are you ignoring me? And he waited till I was about to pass him, and he's like, how you doing? And I was like, what's up?
That's nuts.
Straight up. You know what I mean? Like, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It is nuts, bro. For real.
That's how it is, though.
Why do you only get respect when you're wearing a fucking business suit? You know what I mean?
Right.
Why?
I mean, that happens. I mean, because, like, for one, it's the perception that people get. And it was funny because I remember having this conversation. I don't know if it was on, on this show or another show, but I was telling somebody about when I used to do Stop the Violence, like, events.
Right.
Like, my little brother was killed in 99. And
I'm sorry to hear, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, once that happened, then he was young. He was 18.
Yeah.
So like once that happened, I started doing like events and stuff like that, like going to schools and putting stuff together for like, so what happened was.
Were you affiliated with Put the Gun Down?
No, that actually came.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that actually came like way like after me. Like when I used to do that, because for one, when I was doing these Stop the Violence events, it was more so of me going to schools instead of me letting the soups come in, because kids don't pay attention. They listen, but they not listening because they don't want to hear nothing that they saying.
Right.
But then when somebody coming in, they got the jury on.
It's all the image.
It's all the image.
Thing.
Yeah, and they looking like, I need to hear what he got to say, because he look like what I want to be right now, or he shined up and
they don't want to follow the suit. No pun intended, but
right.
Literally, they don't want to follow the suit.
Yeah, that's how it is. They feel as though they can relate
because
more.
their uncles and their fathers are wearing the shit.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right, and it's something that they just admire.
They admire it, right?
And that's the thing, bro. You don't ever know what a motherfucker is going through just based off what he looks like.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like I said, bro, Warren Buffett is worth $60-70 billion.
Or the type of person that it is.
Exactly.
Right.
I could have the biggest house in the world, dog, but be in there just shooting up all day because I hate my life. You feel me?
Driving a 96 Honda. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you don't fucking know, bro.
You
dude could be a millionaire.
Bro, do you know what J. Cole looks like right now? He looks like a fucking street bum. And he's worth $30 million.
He looks more like a bum than when he was. I wouldn't say he was a bum when he started, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, before he had the status he's on, he looks more like a bum now.
But he picked up that rich man's mentality. That's how they are.
Oh, J. Cole has a wealthy mindset.
Yeah, because for one, and like I was saying, like when I was just saying about the Stop the Violence shoes, I never was like wearing suits and stuff like that.
Right.
But I was doing like major things.
Right.
So there's one school I was given one. Then I stood at the door of the school. I was at the front door and watched every congressman come in, the state rep. I watched all these people come in that was coming to the event, the news, and they all walked past me and went and asked where I was at, and they had to keep pointing them. The guy right there with the hoodie on.
Somebody else where you were.
Right.
That's funny.
Now, if I was standing there with a suit on, they would have came to me.
Knew of you, or they spoke to you before, like on the phone.
Right.
But they didn't think you were you.
Right, because I'm standing there looking like I belong on the corner.
Yeah,
right. You know, so and that be the thing, like that's what it is. But then you got somebody that I watched.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, like I've watched like during the times that even with the Rockefeller era and stuff like that. I watched like even within that circle, I watched. Let's say with Jay, Dame, and you had Biggs.
Right.
I watched Jay shining, I watched Dame shining, and I watched Biggs sitting back in the cut, able to move and go any way he want to go because he was regular as hell.
Right.
He was regular and had more money than both of them.
That's crazy.
You feel what I'm saying?
Crazy.
But when they go to leave out that building, people looking for them too.
Yep.
They're looking for
the
faces. But he walks out, go to his car, get in his car, and pull off, and nobody knows nothing. Nobody says nothing.
And that's why you can't sit here and just take addiction for face value, bro. Because you don't ever know what a person is going through, bro, at all.
I got a game plan, bro. We gotta. Don't tell everybody this, but like, we gotta play the game. We gotta play their game.
Yeah.
Like, we got sometime. Like, listen. Like, I'm going to take that persona on. I'm going to wear the suit. I'm going to get the respect. I'm going to put myself in a position of power. Motherfucker's going to know my name. And then when I get there, I'm coming back and I'm helping everybody.
Yeah,
I'm doing what they're not doing.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's
what you gotta do.
I think that's a very admirable move.
Manipulate the system and play the game.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Just to like come to conclusion and come full circle about it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me how like
Shout out to Hove and Diddy that actually did that. They fucking did that.
Word. It just doesn't make sense to me how like a person can grow up so well mannered and based off good morals and then try one drug one time and it completely changes their whole biological chemistry.
Right.
It completely changes their whole I've met people who are such good people, and before they've tried certain drugs and went down,
mannerisms and shit,
their mannerisms changed, their morals changed, their whole
facts,
their demeanor changed, their attitude, how they move,
everything.
How is that not biological?
People, like,
you feel me? How is that not disease like? Because people take disease as something physical for the most part, cancer, diabetes and shit like that. But mental illness is classified.
I think that's the worst one.
Mental illness,
you
bro.
need your brain to function. I can't fucking move my arms without my brain.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And why do you think people call it crippling depression? I've literally seen my girlfriend, myself, and other people be so crippled by depression that they don't move. They don't.
I think mental health is the fucking single most important thing in the world.
Yeah.
It really is.
X said it the best, bro. He was like, yo, you could come up to me and shoot me in my head right now and I'll be done. You feel me? I don't need to deal with nobody pain. You don't even need to look at me in my face no more.
Right.
It's that mental shit that fucks with me. That fucks with you.
Right.
Because you have to live, bro.
You lose sleep over it and shit.
Yeah, exactly. You have to live and wake up knowing that tomorrow nothing will change.
Right.
Tomorrow I'll still be bipolar. Tomorrow I'll still be schizophrenic. Tomorrow I'll still be a drug addict.
Still have those memories.
Exactly.
Yep.
But the minute somebody put a gun in my head, boom, take me out, I'm done.
You're done.
It's over. I don't need to feel no pain. I don't need to. You feel me? So I don't understand why people will completely demonize and vilify drug addicts, but won't look at gambling addiction, won't look at cigarette addiction, because what does cigarette addiction get you? Cancer. But I guarantee you the person who smoked cigarettes for 30 years and dies gets a wonderful funeral. No one's going to say one bad thing about them. No one's going to say that they were a low-life cigarette smoker. You feel me? No one's going to say a sex addict was a low-life dick junkie. Like, it just doesn't make no fucking sense to me. And I've been on both sides, bro. I've been an addict and I've been the
low-life dick junkie.
I've been an addict and I've been the distributor. You feel me? So and I guarantee
you've been on both sides.
I guarantee you, there's an addiction to a flip too. I guarantee you there's an addiction
There
to
is.
making money
Oh,
off
there
drugs.
is.
You feel
I
me?
have an addiction to hustling. I'm not kidding. Like, I can't stop.
I'm not gonna hold you
I'm
for it.
not kidding.
And you have to understand, bro, that being addicted to certain things doesn't automatically come with a bad connotation. It's when you have no willingness to control it. Because I've been clean off heroin for 2 years. I still smoke pot. You feel me? And I don't want to go, but my life is more important than a fix. That doesn't make...
When you're putting that addiction over everything else and you're lacking in every other area of your life, that is where it affects you, and more importantly, even the people around you. You don't even realize.
But you don't think it's just something that your mind did to you? Like, once you was... Because the thing about it is...
I think it's difficult shit you go through as a kid and just fucks you up. Like,
Yeah, it
shit you
gotta
shouldn't
be
be exposed to
something,
so
yeah.
young.
Addiction
You
is
see
case
some
by
shit
case
and
with
it
me.
fucks your shit
Yeah,
up.
that's what I think.
It's case by case, because you can be born an addict because of genetics, but you can also be in certain situations in certain environments. They did an experiment, and they put rats in a very confined area, kind of how like the government put blacks in the confines of the ghetto, and fed them nothing but morphine all damn day. And they got addicted so quick. And then while they were in the confined space, they gave the rats an option between food or morphine, and the rats took the morphine because they had such a confined space and no activities. Then they put the rats around other rats in a bigger space and still fed them morphine and still kept pumping them full of opiates. But the fact that it wasn't a confined space anymore made that rat get off of drugs. It doesn't say that the rat chose to stop doing drugs. The rat had to wean itself off of its addiction. You feel me? Yeah. Because anything with opiates, Xanax, alcohol has the worst withdrawal. You can die from Xanax withdrawal. You can die from alcohol withdrawal. You can feel like you're dying from dope withdrawal. So in certain situations, it's definitely case by case, and the willingness to get clean. That's why in Narcotics Anonymous they say people, places, and things, because your mind mentally is associating this drug with not only the feeling, but the place where you are when you get that feeling, who you're with when you get that feeling. So when
there's so many different variables. Like, I think what it comes down to is like there's three things. There's like biological, there's social, and then psychological.
Yes.
All right.
Because my uncle was a heroin addict and he died from AIDS.
Right.
He died from the complications of HIV due to using dirty needles. I became a heroin addict. I didn't know my uncle at all.
You didn't know,
never
you didn't
met
even
the man.
know that.
I never met the man.
To associate that.
You feel me? My one uncle was a heroin dealer for years.
Right.
What did I start doing? You feel me? There's no way you can tell me that and I didn't even spend time with these niggas like that.
Right.
You feel me? So there's no way
There's
in
so
hell
many
you
different
can...
cases, so that would be one case, and then you got another kid growing up where he didn't have any family that did that.
Yeah.
And I think that's more like social. Maybe he was fucked up and affected by shit he saw.
Social
like I was
and
just saying,
psychological.
you know what I mean?
I still think a lot of it comes down to, and we were saying before, a lot of it comes down to willpower, like your strength, and how strong your mind is. You know,
Right.
You know, a lot of people, because I remember when at one point in time, this was like years ago. Even now at night, I don't sleep at night. I don't go to sleep until the sun is up. So by the time I get to sleep, everybody is waking up. I'm up all night. My brain is going. I get all my ideas and stuff at night, and sometimes I just want to go to sleep.
Right.
I
That's when your brain should be shut down, not thinking.
Right.
And it's running. Yeah.
So I remember at one time I was like, yo, I want to go to sleep. I need to go to sleep. I have stuff to do during the day. So then I started, like at night, there was a store at the corner of my block. And I say for like a week straight, like at least, I was at that store every day. Let me get some PMs.
Right.
And I was taking them every night.
Right.
So I can go to sleep and get up.
Because you couldn't find that other solution.
Yeah. So it was this one night I found myself in the store getting PMs. And I was like, yo. Like I find myself like I need it now.
Right.
So I was like, never mind.
You started feeling like you were getting like you were forming like an addiction to it.
Yeah, I knew I was because I needed it, and then it was like even if I didn't think about it, it popped in my head like shit. I gotta go get some PMs.
Right.
And this is my point, bro. I love that you said that because I've been clean off heroin for 2 years, almost 3. Not
Salute.
one day
Salute.
goes. Thank you. Not one day goes by where I don't think about it, bro. Not one day goes by where I don't think
It's
about
an everyday battle.
It's an everyday battle. So you can't sit here and tell me that it's a fucking choice to get clean and to start getting addicting, because there's
The
too many
long-term effects
variables
on your brain is
and
they're severe, bro.
Plus, bro, so many different drug addicts. This is a known fact. So many drug addicts have an already pre-existing condition to make them susceptible to
Right.
to making bad choices, to being bipolar disorder is one of those conditions.
Right.
Multiple
Yeah, if you're
personality
born, I do
disorder.
believe that if you're born with those mental illnesses, mental disorders, it just makes it that much harder. And then when you're faced with the shit that normally a person would get fucked up if they went through some psychological shit, now you're going to be more fucked up.
Exactly. And to close this, and to for all the ignorant people who have no idea about addiction, babies are born addicted to heroin every single day. So if you're calling a baby a low-life junkie for something that they have no control of,
That's fucked up.
you are a piece of shit.
Right. Right.
You are a piece of shit.
Yeah, if you want to call someone a scumbag, look in the mirror.
Please. Next topic.
And well, before we wrap it up, I just want to tell people, fuck the stigma. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
If you are hurting, I'm talking to those people now, like the people that are actually hurting, not the people that are calling them scumbags. Like the so-called scumbags. If you guys are hurting out there, fuck the stigma. Stop worrying about what people think. Nobody gives a fuck, because nobody's going to be thinking of how weak you were so many years ago when you decided to speak up on your problem. Like, nobody cares. The thing is, you will change your life and you will then start to get better.
And if
everybody
anybody
will salute you for that and praise you for that.
And
so
if-
get through it and speak up.
And if anybody is suffering from addiction or depression, anything like that out there, please get some help. Please call a hotline. Please have a support
Hit us
system.
up. Hit Shu up. Hit Hendo up. Come up to the show. Talk to us. Like, that's
Please. Now, next topic. Let's introduce our guest here. We got Evan Mercado. Come up to the mic, bro.
it. Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome.
Let's go with you, bro. How you doing? You want to introduce your mans, bro?
Yeah, my man's here, Skino right here.
What's good?
Evan Mercado, a.k.a. Gotham.
Hey. All right, fucking, what's our next topic?
All right, we're gonna. So we're jumping into what's the wave. Next topic, we're gonna talk about how artists are more emotionally sensitive these days.
Oh, man, this is one of my
A
favorite.
lot
What
of
do
these.
what do you think about
emo
that, bro?
rappers and
There's so many emo rappers out right now,
well,
dog.
there's that. So that just found like we just formed a whole new lane in hip hop.
I just saw a video of
Have a new
Trippie Red with black
subgenre,
fingernails the
but
other
You
day.
don't even have to be an emo rapper. Like, I feel like just artists in general are just so much more vulnerable. You know,
Well,
in
I feel like
2018.
all artists who get to that standpoint of considering themselves have made it, they all find themselves a gimmick. A lot of these rappers have a gimmick. It's either they're coloring their hair, or they're coming with the style that's expressing their feelings.
Facts.
Yeah.
Music is an entertainment business, so I feel as though it doesn't only start from the music. It starts from like the stuff you're watching as a kid and stuff like that. They've been promoting like expressing your feelings, not being homophobic, and they've been doing all this LGBT stuff before they even brought that out,
Yeah.
publicly. So, but people want to hear about something they can relate to. So, if you hear an artist that's rapping about their feelings, and whether it's emo, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, and they can relate to it, they're gonna get that following. Nowadays, it's just a lot of more of those depressing fans out there.
Yeah, most definitely.
So smart artists will make that type of music, and creative artists will make that type of music to sell.
Yeah.
Facts.
I was just watching my man's Ruben. He just told me that the nigga Juice World, who came up with that Lucid Dream song,
Right.
who talks about like cutting himself and shit all the time.
I didn't even hear it.
Bro. This dude has these. He has these lyrics.
The fact that
and
I
he's
didn't
like,
hear it, and it's called Lucid Dream. You know how I am with dreams.
It's not even really about lucid dreams. It's about him losing like a female and him wanting to kill himself over it.
Okay.
And my man's Ruben, he put me on. He was like, "Yo, this nigga was not talking about this shit before he got on. Like, the dude's from Chicago, and you know what Chicago was famous for. You feel me? We don't really even need to talk about it because G Herbo exists. But like the man's was really like on some like killer type shit before he got on and started like rapping about depression and shit like that. Like that's the kind of lane he was in, because he got songs with this one dude named D Savage. D Savage is literally all about. He's a little 19-year-old gangbanging bull. Yeah, exactly. You feel me? So like, just like Evan said, a smart artist would transform into this marketing scheme, into this and switch his sound because of what's being promoted and what's popular right now.
Right.
And there are those creative artists who just do that shit like, just organically.
Yeah, especially if they've never relate, like if they can't personally relate, but they can if you can make music for other people and you've never been through that problem, that's big.
Drake.
Yeah, yo, you just read my mind, for
Drake's
real.
He's the perfect face for a lot of things,
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
That's why his music relates, even though people know he hasn't done it.
Right, he can tap into a lot of shit.
He's forever tainted.
That's funny as shit.
Drake will literally go on a song and be like, I just shot 5 niggas, and niggas will feel that.
He said that.
Niggas will feel that.
He said, I bring Calicos to the Alamo.
That shit is crazy.
Drake, we know.
And you know what's nuts? Like, especially about like Toronto and it's like underbelly of crime. A lot of people think that people like Drake or Tory Lanez or Belly or Nav didn't have to like go through certain shit because Toronto is viewed as a very nice place. But like, it's not called the Screwface capital for no reason. Like, these niggas do be out here, getting busy. I'm not going to say like it's like on some Chicago shit or like some Ohio, Cleveland shit, but like these dudes get busy out here. You feel me?
Right,
so like,
right.
How much can we really say Drake isn't about that life? Because the nigga's big. He's 6'2". He's 230. He will punch you in the face.
Drake now? I mean, he could.
Maybe now.
He's got make you disappear money.
Yeah, he does.
He's connected.
He's connected.
Mob
Exactly.
ties.
Sometimes it's about that network. If you got if you got that network and you got that power, you can make it happen.
You don't need to be that.
You don't need to be.
You don't.
You know what I mean?
Look at cops. They not that guy without that badge.
But
with that badge,
I still think somebody's I'm not going to put their names out there, but I still think some of these megastars, these big rappers that we all glorify every day, I think they still run drug organizations, but they're not out there doing it.
Why do you think Pusha's people, all the Pusha T's people went to prison, bro?
I promise you.
He the only dude from his whole clique.
Names. I'm not trying to incriminate anyone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm snitching. Fab still sell coke.
Fucking respect your hustle, bro.
Fab still got to be selling coke, bro. I swear to God.
He got a lot of business ideas, man. That's my favorite rapper. There's one
Who?
person.
Fab.
That's one person I can say that like I relate to him because his versatility. That's the real reason why he's my favorite rapper and his longevity. But he has a lot of businesses, man. He's tied to like Jay-Z with that whole Rock Nation. He does he's like also a model or whatever he is. He does that like street clothing and
he does.
Nah, he's
he
a
does.
dope
I'll
dude.
get that to him. But back to the whole like emotional thing. I think whether it's a smart business move or whether you're just organically doing it, I think more people need that kind of stuff because
the world's a more fucked up place. Would you say? In 2018,
most definitely,
the world's a more fucked up place.
Yeah,
those
bro.
fans need to hear that shit.
And I think that like people like Trippie Redd, people like Juice WRLD, people like XXX Tentacion, they're going to bring
I love when you say the whole name.
Dog, I love saying his name.
I
Pause.
You like roll, he like rolls it. He rolls it off the tongue and shit. I said,
I really am.
He goes Tentacion.
he said pause.
I had to. But those kind of people are bringing a new genre of music to rap music because I've seen ever since Ski Mask and X and like Tekashi came out, I've seen so many different rappers wearing Slipknot shirts or wearing band tees. Kanye West 2 years ago wore a Cradle of Filth shirt, dog, and they're like one of the biggest death metal bands out of the UK. Kanye West, the most influential man in hip hop.
Well, rap has become the new rock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you see people like now they're doing a whole like what is it, the crowd surfing and like
mosh pits and shit like that.
That's where all the hair is coming from. Like, they want to
rappers have
they
always
want it
tried
to be
to
swinging.
emulate rock stars.
I heard someone say the other day that rap music is going through a scene phase.
Going through a what?
A scene phase. You ever heard of a scene kid? Like they used like kids who like would poof up their hair and like wear really outlandish makeup and listen to like screamo techno type shit.
Yeah.
Like that's like what a scene kid is, bro. I used to hang out with motherfuckers like that all the time, bro. I'm not even joking. I was one of those dudes.
I did in middle school,
bro. I shit you not, bro. I shit you not. I was serving ounces and wearing fingernail polish, bro. I'm not joking. And someone could. Sorry, police, but you feel me? Like, I was really doing that shit. Like, niggas really called me, like, a faggot for wearing tight jeans or for having my hair a certain kind of way. But now it's the wave, bro.
I personally feel like Lil Yachty and them, like, actually brought that wave out because everybody was hating on Lil Yachty.
Everybody. For the color of his hair, period.
That's what happened to help his music blow up.
Yeah.
He even said it in one of his interviews. It was something like, you don't have to, like, be a great rapper to make good music or whatever.
You need a brand.
You need he said you just got to make relatable music. And
right.
Lil Yachty made relatable music to his fans, so that opened up, because of his hair, they opened up a lot of, I'm not going to call them geeks and whatever, but you're saying whatever, the
weirdos.
The weirdos, you know what I'm saying, that gave them their lane to open up and rap, because you don't got to be a street rapper
you
anymore.
Don't.
You know what I'm saying? So
Marketing, definitely.
Marketing, yeah.
I think that's the top right now too. Just
most
because,
definitely.
Like, Lil Yachty got a commercial with Target.
Word.
You know, Target. Like
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That is nuts.
Big.
And he was on Sprite. That Sprite commercial. When I seen that, yeah, man.
And he one of the most hated dudes in hip hop. If you're like a hip hop Puritan, you feel me?
I'm definitely not a Lil Yachty fan.
You're not a Lil Yachty fan.
I'm not none of these new artist fans, but I don't knock their hustle. You know, like
you can't.
Yeah, I don't knock their.
He
hustle
has the same like opinion that I have.
You can't knock their hustle.
There's not one person who could tell you how they made it, and you could copy them, and make it. Like everybody made it their own way. Yes, they had similar stories and backgrounds or whatever,
but you know what
you have to respect it.
Now you don't have to be a gangster rapper.
You don't.
Like
you really don't.
Never had to be.
You never did. Yeah.
Yeah, a gangster rapper. It was just that most people that was into like rap, somewhat was into the gangster rap because they was the ones that was making the most noise,
and that was the wave then, right?
Yeah, they was making the most noise because for one, to be a gangster rapper, you had to have the streets,
right?
So you had to put in more work.
You really did.
Yeah,
You can't get away like Drizzy.
Yeah, you can't get radio.
With the shit
yeah, you couldn't get radio and
all
all of that when you was talking a certain talk. So now you had to put your music out, and you had to beat the streets up. Like you had to have the streets.
Most Def wasn't a gangster rapper. Talib Kweli wasn't a gangster rapper.
They're recognized only by the people who appreciate real hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, true.
There's especially fans nowadays that don't even know who they are.
That's sad to me, honestly.
Sad. Yeah, that's
really sad.
We had that conversation.
Remember, Rich Homie Quan didn't even know Biggie's verse.
I don't even like Biggie's music, and I can quote you a Biggie verse.
I'll walk up out this fucking radio show right now. I'll smack the shit out of somebody.
Yo, but you know how many people felt this?
How you gonna get on there?
How many
disrespect Biggie like that?
You know how many people felt disrespected when he.
But
then he said, I mean, I grew up on T.I. T.I. can give you a Biggie verse.
Right.
T.I. used to take trips to New York.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Well, T.I. also was, in his defense, T.I. was on Biggie's third album, Born
to Die.
No, what was it called? Born Again?
What's
his third album, After Life, After Death. What was it? Born something.
I don't know. I don't like that man's music.
But T.I. was on who?
Biggie's.
Stop it.
Born Again.
It might have been.
Yeah.
He was on it. He was. T.I. had a guest
but the thing about we had this conversation. I think it was probably like one of your first shows, and it was like rappers don't do their homework.
Nah.
Not only that, they don't respect where the game came from.
You're doing a disservice to yourself.
Yeah,
they don't admit
in
that
that game. You're going to be talking about hip hop the rest of your fucking life.
Right.
Learn it.
Yeah, and it's like you have to know the people that came, and especially the people that made a mark on the game.
Right.
Word.
Well, rap been changed once the people who stopped freestyling.
Yes.
Once I seen who was it? Not Yachty, was Uzi.
This
I
shit.
think
This shit.
with Uzi with E, bro. No, he was like, I'm a rock star, bro.
He was like, I don't rap to that shit.
Yeah. Even Yachty said something like, you know, like.
So
But you know what's
where's
crazy?
your fucking guitar. No,
Word.
your fucking
As
guitar
a
in the
rapper,
radio show.
People
I
accept
personally
that
feel
now.
like
I'm
you
saying,
have
like,
to freestyle.
You have
People
to.
accept that
You
now.
have to freestyle.
You know how many artists we had up here were like, no, I don't freestyle.
Why?
Like,
That's what I do. Like,
Bro, that's
give me
like
something you wrote then. Like, what do you mean?
yeah, at least give me a written
rap.
facts. Like, so what do you do when you in the studio? Like,
What do you do?
that means you got a ghostwriter.
No, that's because
I think because people don't want to be compared to like they probably seen some fucking lethal battle rappers out there.
No,
And they
yeah.
don't want to
think
be
it is?
like in that realm. They don't
No.
want people coming at them like, yo,
No, you know
I'll
what I
out-rap
think
you
it
type
is?
of shit.
What I think it is when it comes to if you come in here, you just say rap. Yeah, I need you to freestyle. They looking like now I have to rap. So all this dumb shit I was doing on the track, I can't do this right now.
Right. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
facts.
saying.
Yeah.
All the fucking extra.
Yeah, I
fillers
can't
and the
do that.
ad-libs
Like,
and the dub.
Ooh,
Yeah,
hey,
like I had
Right.
I had to rap.
People get on the show, and I've actually heard them freestyle that shit.
and that's cool
You know what I
though.
mean?
That's cool as long as you can
I saw
do
Lil
it.
Yachty do it. I think.
And that's cool as long as you can do it. You know, like
yeah,
Right.
most
it's-
definitely.
You know, as long as you can
Yeah.
do it. Some people mess up when they freestyling. As long as they keep going,
That's
but
fine.
the passion and the confidence to be able to rap and consider yourself a rapper or a rap artist, you should be able
That's
to.
what you do.
This is what you do.
Even Trippie Redd, bro.
Yeah.
Even Trippie Redd went on Tim Westwood and gave him an actual freestyle. You feel Trip,
Tim
my
Westwood
nigga.
TV, man.
Yo, shout out to Tim Westwood TV for always having polos on his fucking body for 10 years straight.
Tim
bro.
Westwood owes me for that one. I just
Yo,
shouted him out.
facts.
He's
Plug.
now, dog.
Plug. But nah, man, I think it's definitely conducive for rappers to be more emotional. Even like you can move away from the emo rappers and talk about people like Cole, talk about people like Drake, talk about people like
He
Kendrick.
talks about sad shit. Sometimes.
Yeah, even you feel me? Like
Cole will have you in your feelings.
Joey Badass to a certain degree.
Yes.
You feel me?
Logic.
Capital Steez, Logic. These are all people who have talked and expressed themselves about mental illness, anxiety, drug use, suicide,
Even
all that
Kendrick
shit.
he had some deep shit on his last album.
You feel me?
Man,
So
yeah.
like, if all of these people, famous people even, are advocating mental health or advocating being yourself or shit like that, why do rappers still feel like they have to be posted in a picture with a pistol?
Because the lane they choose to be in.
I don't get
Right.
that shit.
You know why? Because they're followers, and everybody else in that lane is doing that.
Exactly.
And they want to fucking emulate the same exact thing, and they just can't be different. We need more leaders, bro.
bro, I'm not gonna hold you, bro.
This is like, you can't make it. You can't make it big dog status
Lot
unless you're a
of
leader
them.
anyway.
A
It's
lot
time
of
to
them.
start having a leadership mentality. Stop following the pack.
What-
If you notice, like before, like gangster rappers, they didn't have to pose with guns and all that shit. You
Nah.
just knew if you tried them, they was gonna fuck you
They
up.
were gonna
Word.
fuck your shit up.
How many times you ever seen Pac with a gun in
Yeah,
his
like
hand?
you just
Nah.
knew what it was. Like now they have to show you, like I got a gun. Or
That's
he
'cause
had
of-
to- all
that's
he
'cause
had
of-
to
or
do
trying to
was
portray this is
yell
my
West
life.
Side out the window a couple times, like, and everybody knew the deal. You know?
That's because of Instagram, though. That's because of social media, though. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like niggas want to be clout lords and shit like that.
Yeah.
And as much as I like Tekashi 6ix9ine and feel like he actually is a thorough ass dude, he does that shit way too
So
much.
do you think they're
He's a
actually
troll.
doing that?
He's a
because
real
we're
troll.
in a time where
He
you
making
have to
millions
market
off that
yourself?
shit.
Is that what it is? Is that
I-
what they're trying to do?
Yeah, to a certain degree, marketing is more important than rap.
Yes, but it's been like that though. That's
So
why
people are just willing to do
that's
dumb
why
shit to
when-
get on.
Even when Biggie was
Yeah.
getting on, they were saying that you got to have something for the radio. Without that radio song, you're not going to really get to the way you need to be in
I don't
music.
necessarily feel that way though,
50,
because
50 said he respects 6ix9ine so much because I think it was 50 that said it.
Yeah, it
he
was.
said because, you know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
said because he's willing to do anything to get on and make it. Like, he's like, I love that man because he's, like, really about it. Or wait,
Yeah.
was it Cole?
no,
Was it Cole?
it was Fifth, bro.
Like,
Fifth,
he's willing
Fifth.
to do anything. Cole did, right. You know what I mean? Yeah.
If someone as thorough as 50 Cent is co-signing someone as stupid looking as 6ix9ine,
Whoa.
like,
And they-
Him is
they're willing,
related.
all the
50
dumb shit they do, they're
50
willing to
love
do.
the hustle.
I do respect
yeah, they
that
are,
hustle.
and they
Love the
beef,
hustle.
they
Yeah.
beef hungry as
They're
hell.
both trolls.
Yeah.
50 and Sakashi is.
Oh, yeah.
50 is the oldest, biggest troll. Like
You know, he
the
just bought
greatest
Ja
troll.
Rule's rights.
Like, yeah, it's crazy, yo.
He bought Ja Rule's rights, bro.
Pettiness, yo.
Yeah,
But they troll. They do it
Yeah.
just that you lost. You gotta just take little L's. You just
Yeah,
gotta
exactly.
Continue to take little L's.
But you know, 50 and
That is
Eminem was
crazy.
like two of the same. If you notice, like when used to drop, he used to come at everybody and
Everybody.
their
oh,
mom.
but yeah, Eminem
Yeah.
was testing people.
Eminem
Ja,
was
Ja,
D-Troll.
Ja,
Yeah.
that's where you first fucked up. You put Haley's name in your song. You should have never done that.
Yeah, Ja Rule. That
Bad-
whole
bad-
beef
bad
was
move,
that whole
bro.
beef was done before it started.
That was
Yeah.
dumb.
Well, M
Yeah.
tested everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody.
and he didn't care what genre you was
Yo,
Everybody.
in.
he came at. I don't know if you guys know who. You guys
That's
know
why
who,
I like him
Cannabis is?
better.
Yeah.
Than,
Cannabis is
Can
one
I
of the dopest
bust?
freestyles ever.
He has
Yeah.
the worst rap name I've ever heard
But
in
he
my
has
life.
one of the dopest. Like he's one of the dopest
came at
freestylers
Michael
in
Jackson.
the world.
He came at Mike,
And M shut him
Elton
down.
John, Britney Spears, Taylor Swift,
Yeah,
mad
everybody.
People, you feel me?
And Mariah Carey.
Christina
Everybody.
Aguilera,
Every boy band.
Donald Trump, Fred
Everybody.
Durst, you
Instant
feel me?
Everybody.
Backstreet Boys, every boy
Fucking
band.
Everlong, fucking.
but that goes back to the strategy. That goes back to the strategy. Because when it comes to the strategy, is okay. I can come at a rapper, but people only going to know that I'm coming at a rapper is people that's interested in rap. But if I come at Mariah Carey,
He was marketing, bro.
he was
He
marketing.
was coming at pop artists.
Yeah, he was coming at people to
that
where
were
as though
above hip hop.
right because
Now
now
hip hop's on top.
the people that's interested in the pop is now paying attention and saying, why is this rapper or who is this rapper?
Yeah.
When somebody say who is this, now
Right.
they checking for you.
And that's when niggas
made
start
it.
saying, I'm
You
about
made it.
$1. Who the fuck is 50 Cent? And now
Yeah.
niggas got platinum records
Yeah,
off diss
that's
tracks.
right.
Yeah,
Hey.
they start checking for
Right.
you.
You feel me? Like I think 50 Cent when it came to his beef with niggas and why he was mentioning his names, like they names in songs, was definitely like some troll shit. But you knew Fifth to be that guy. You knew Fifth
Yo,
to be
50
like if you
still to
can,
this day is hip hop's bully.
yeah, he is.
But he
if you-
wasn't. But he wasn't. If you go,
No,
no,
he ate
no.
him. I don't care.
Yeah, if you-
Checkmate.
because-
Checkmate.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you go back to Robert Industry, it was a regular song.
Right.
But once Jay responded to him and he seen the outcome of, oh shit, I said, and Jay responded, and then it's like, oh, this what I'm gonna do.
Word.
I'm gonna keep getting
Word.
this, and then once he got with M and M was doing that, it became his strategy.
That was it, because M was already dissing everybody.
Yeah, it was his
Perfect,
strategy. Yeah, it was
M
his
had
strategy.
so much
Like
like
a three-headed monster because they had Dre, but yo,
Yeah.
like literally, like I can't
yeah, he was so
believe people
angsty, bro. He was so
50
sad and mad.
Actually, diss like 50 had beef with Nas.
He did some of
Like,
his
I'm talking megastars. Nas, Jada, like the whole D block.
Yeah.
Fucking
Them niggas
Fat
wasn't
Joe,
gonna fight
Ja
him, though.
Rule.
Them niggas wasn't
the
gonna
game-
fight him though. He would have
like-
fought him. The game will beat 50 Cent's
The
ass.
game,
I
the
don't
game.
know, man. You never know, bro. 50 Cent was known for beating.
All
He
right,
can-
that's
he
something
can
I wanna
box
talk
for
about. I wanna
real. He
talk
can
about
box
that.
for real.
So I got in a heated discussion with someone one time. Who's more gangster, the game or 50?
Who's more gangster?
Yeah.
I would say 50.
Who's gonna take
I
it
would
more
say
to the
50
streets?
is
Depends on what you call gangster.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. I would say Fifth is more of a gangster because Fifth been selling crack since he was 15. The game became a blood
Yo,
at
his
20.
his mom
You feel
had
me?
been selling crack. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
depends
Nah,
on
his
what you
mom was
call
just a
gangster.
crack dealer.
Died, right?
Yeah, his mom was
Yeah,
just a crack dealer.
that's true.
Or his
too.
his grandmom.
Nah, his grandma didn't have him selling crack. 50 was poor, so he sold crack.
Okay.
You feel me?
I mean,
Everybody.
well, you
just-
don't have to be. You know, you don't have to be in the game for a long time to become a. I seen somebody pop somebody by accident, and
He
after
just-
that, it was just like,
I heard of a hip hop artist popping themselves by accident, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yo,
Yeah.
leave Tunchi alone, bro.
no. But the thing about it is, it's like a dog. A lot of times, a dog don't become a beast until they taste blood.
Word, facts. Word. I'll definitely
once,
attest
once
to
they
that.
taste blood. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it's a rap after
You might
that.
not know you're willing to bring it there yourself.
Let
Right.
me tell you a story, bro. When I was a young nigga, I used to get bullied all the time. My mom was like, you can't hit these kids back because it's just going to cause issues. You feel me? Then somebody just really, really tested me one day. I came to school with a knife in my backpack and told them I slit their throat. Nobody tested me after that no more.
I pulled a knife on someone too.
Yo, hashtag Columbine.
someone called my boy fat.
Somebody
I
spit in
was
my
on the back
sister's
of-
face.
I was on the back of my boy's bike on the pegs. Remember the pegs?
Yeah.
I was on the back, right? We're riding down the road. He's like, yo, you fat motherfucker. So I
So,
got off
bitch.
and pulled out my knife. I said, hold on, let me handle this for you. And I was like, don't you fucking say shit to him again. I said, you got anything to say? And he went and got his older brother. It was a whole thing. Had the cops come to my house. It was crazy.
Bitch,
And
I
you
got
got
arrested
two over
in
a
school.
knife. If somebody put
Little
a
pocket
knife,
knife.
no, if somebody put a knife on you, gotta go to a different. If somebody put a gun on me, I'ma test you. A knife, you crazy.
Yeah, word, because you got to get up close
Yeah,
and
a knife
personal.
is
You
more
got
personal.
one swing with that knife.
You're waving that
It's
shit.
over.
around and shit.
You got one swing. You
Yeah.
miss me with that swing.
But the thing of-
Yo, why do you think
I
I
feel
work
you.
out faithfully now?
Because so
I
niggas
was,
don't
I was
touch you.
that skinny motherfucker.
Yeah, I feel
getting
you on
picked
that.
Like,
Yeah,
like, yo,
but-
you skinny motherfucker. Like,
That's-
I was getting pushed around.
I feel you on
I
that.
put that to a
jokes.
stop myself. I didn't go to anybody for help.
I was fucking niggas bitches. You feel me?
I was worried about this thing. I didn't go to anybody for help. I just started hitting the gym, and when I came back in school, I came back between 10th and 11th grade. And in 11th grade, they're like, "What the fuck?
I
You on
found-
steroids," and I'm like, "Nah, just don't fuck with me no more."
I find that the
it.
biggest part of vengeance, or the biggest facet of vengeance that you could do, fucking niggas girl, bro. You could call me a faggot all you want, but your girl gonna suck my dick.
It's more to me. It's like, yo, I feel like
For real.
I was that skinny kid. I'm still that skinny kid.
I'm skinny as hell.
Bro, when people used to try to call me skinny, I will roast you, bro. I will roast you, bro.
Facts.
You gotta
did
find
this
that, yeah.
every day. So I'm Puerto Rican, so my family was roasting me since, you know what I'm saying, birth.
I feel
So
you.
you were prepared for that
Yeah,
shit.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. To me, that is that bullying it comes down to where you are raised, what you were raised with doing. You know, like
Yeah, true.
like I said, bro. Like my family, and you know, I'm about to have a kid. I'm gonna be roasting my kid when he little peanut head ass when he get
the world, right?
Yeah, bro. This world is tough, man. I mean, I understand bullying, like it gets physical, and that's when it gets dangerous and stuff like that. But me getting picked on, I always had jokes, and I'll make you cry, and I'll making you mad to want to fight me.
That's
my win.
Yeah, most
That's my
definitely.
Yeah, because mentally you
You
can break
cynical
someone.
as hell. I feel that.
Mentally,
I
if
feel
you
that.
break someone down, it's worse than if you physically.
Yeah, because
break someone down.
once you angry, you're gonna react angry. If you
Right.
swing angry
You gonna
and
miss.
you miss,
I'm gonna come back
Back.
calculated. Yeah.
that's your ass, man.
Yep.
Most definitely,
That's
most
it.
definitely. So in conclusion, I think this is definitely like a good topic. Like I think, like I said, like the hip hop game needs way more emotional rappers, or not even just emotional, like people who talk more about what other people are
Define
feeling.
emotional for the people.
I mean, emotional to me, how I would define it, is someone who's willing to bare their soul on a track. Someone like a
Right.
like a Vic Mensa or
Like
someone.
you're not sitting there like I gotta limit myself. I can't worry about what this one thinks or
Yeah.
that one thinks. Like I don't give a fuck.
'Cause-
I'm exposing it all.
Because Tory Lanez on his first album talked about how he made his girl get 3 abortions. How many rappers have really talked about
That's
that?
crazy.
Yeah,
Well, you
there's
got-
not a lot of passion in rap.
But you
man.
got a lot of
You can't just tell me
rappers.
you have such a boring life where you don't have anything. Like, do artists really speak on their shit?
Yeah, you got a lot of rappers like that. If you really listen to them, I think that's why so many lanes of different people with different fan base. Like
Right.
I remember, Emilio Sparks had this song, right, and it was about his grandma passing, and the song about his grandma passing. I don't care what city we went in, somebody always came up, and it'd be the hardest guy and the killer from that town. Like, yo, man, like that joint made me cry, man.
That's real.
I've had some of the toughest niggas
That's
tell me
crazy.
that my songs really
Yeah,
like
like-
touched them
Cycle.
somewhere.
He was real because he was
Thank you,
really,
bro. I
he
appreciate
really
it.
told what
Cycle
happened
crazy.
with his grandma. I'm like, with him, his grandma died in the hospital when his, you know what I'm saying, his mom being there.
Right.
And, you know,
That's
he-
why you can't judge a book by its cover.
Anyone can
Yeah.
relate to death. You feel
Right.
me? Anyone can relate to loss. That shit is
Yeah.
real.
The biggest, baddest motherfucker, they have feelings too. You know what I mean?
Word up.
But that be the thing. You just gotta be able to, and rap helps people relate to
Yeah.
these people
Mhm.
because a lot of people can't. A female and rap music is kind of two of the same when it comes to the hardest dude.
Right.
They like the
Word.
only one that can get. You know what I mean, can crack that shell.
Right.
Mhm. My girlfriend is the only female in my life besides my mama that can tell me to calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah.
me?
Because
Real
that's
shit.
that's the thing. Because they the only one that we really is allowing to be in this space that nobody else can get to. The
Mhm.
hard shell
Right.
that we have to keep.
Cause my niggas not gonna see it. Cause I gotta be hard in front
Yeah,
of my niggas.
you gotta.
That's why that's what rap's supposed to be. Rap's supposed to be rhythm and poetry, in
Yeah.
my
Right.
eyes at least.
Yeah.
So, like,
Right.
And since when in any history of poetry do like, cause bro, poetry started out with dudes in stockings. You feel me? Dudes in stockings and Victorian hats. Poetry.
I
That's
just
where it
started
started.
a new acronym. Rap. You got to be relatable as a poet.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean?
Stop hating on everything.
Stop hating on everything. I'm gonna start charging you to say that.
Yo, shout out to Shoot, bro. What's our next topic?
All right, so next topic we got Spitball. Or actually, you know what? Let's shout out Drake real quick.
Yeah.
Drake real quick.
Shout out to Drake for getting to 1 billion streams in a week,
That's
dog.
crazy, bro. Who did he beat?
Everybody.
Like the Beatles?
Yeah, he beat everybody.
The Beatles was like in that position for years, and he just beat the Beatles. So that's crazy.
Post Malone did
That's
the same
big.
thing on Billboard too. The most Billboard records to be up at the same time was held by the Beatles with 6 records, and Post Malone had 9. Yeah,
I can't believe they count streams for
I don't
album
think that
sales.
should compare them like that. That
Yeah, because they
pisses
can't.
me off.
Because
Post Malone is a walking Beatle. I'm not about to sit here and lie. He's like our generation's John Lennon.
Just straight record sales,
Yeah,
right?
with just
Album
record
sales.
sales.
Now they count streams. Like I don't know if it's 100% fair to
Yeah,
do
it's
that,
not
but
fair to me
on
at all, you know what I'm
paper,
saying? Like,
cool. He
yeah.
beat him on paper. He beat
Yeah.
them. But
You don't really have a choice though in this kind of climate of music.
yeah, no, I know.
But
I know.
what's our next
But our
drone?
next topic for Spitball. All right, this is a crazy one. This is crazy.
What is it?
We're gonna talk about how
I just want to hear you say it, bro. Pause.
Yo, so Joe Jackson apparently had Michael Jackson's voice chemically castrated to maintain his signature high pitch.
not his voice, his puberty.
Right.
Yeah, he had Michael Jackson chemically castrated, and what that basically
Like
means is
while
that
he was before he hit puberty.
Yeah,
had
before he
his
hit
voice.
puberty.
Is that crazy?
yeah, you know that's actually a thing.
Yeah. See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
an article
Holy
just came
shit,
out.
Right.
What chemically castrated means is that like you take all these pills and it kind of stunts your growth as a man or as a female for biological development. So like your balls won't drop, or a woman won't get her period, or
Right.
like shit
And
like
I guess
that.
he was like his whole purpose behind it was I guess he was trying to like secure Michael Jackson's legacy
and
you know,
his
by
range
keeping
and his
that
vocal
voice,
range and shit.
his vocal range. But I don't think you doing that like you're putting you're taking a kid against his own will. And
Yeah.
fucking, like how do you guys feel about that shit?
Word.
Is that crazy, bro?
Because we read the article today, bro. After
I just
Joe
read this
Jackson
shit
died,
this morning, and I said we're
the
talking about this shit.
the doctor who accidentally killed Michael Jackson was actually speaking on it.
That is wicked, yo. Like,
Dr. Conrad Murray.
wait, does the kid have a say, bro?
No,
Like,
especially if you Joe Jackson, bro. No, none of his kids had a say in anything.
Yeah, we
You
all
feel
know
me?
that
All right, so
story,
for all the
man.
people listening in, why don't you explain that, like Joe Jackson and like his relationship
Joe
with Michael
Jackson-
Jackson, or just his demeanor in general?
Joe Jackson, I'm sure everybody in the room knows this, was a very abusive vocal coach, a very abusive father, and a very abusive manager. He would
Very hard to please.
yeah, if his kids didn't hit a note right, he's whipping their ass. You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me? Like that shit was really
I
real.
wonder where that shit stems. Like, what was his upbringing like?
The thing is that Joe Jackson was living vicariously through his
That's
kids
what I'm saying.
because
That's
he
what parents do a lot.
he failed in his dreams.
Yep.
You know, so he was so hard on his kids, and plus he was a Jehovah's Witness, and culturally speaking, Jehovah's Witnesses are very hard on their kids. They're not allowed to celebrate Christmas or any holiday or really even interact with certain people if
Have a
they're
life.
yeah, like they're Jehovah's Witnesses are very very much living double lives when they get to grow up and get freedom of their religion. So with all those things culminating within the household, it just kind of made Joe Jackson a very abusive person.
Yeah, I don't want to even like. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't want to sit here and sound like we're like defending him. You know what I mean? Like trying to justify like his
We're
shit.
not.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah,
I'm still mind blown.
it's fucked, right?
Yeah, man. How you how you take away the bass of his voice?
Yeah, he.
I mean, but
How do you
but
stunt the growth?
but,
Period. Like, what is
Exactly.
that about? Like,
but if he didn't, there wouldn't be no.
yeah,
I can't even hit the note right now.
there'd be no such thing as Man in the Mirror or like
Yeah,
Dirty
like,
how do
Diana.
we know? How did he even know?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It could have been
something totally different.
word.
What if he didn't have the career that he did?
That would be crazy, bro. Like, what if we did not get
But
Michael
still, it
Jackson?
doesn't make it
wouldn't
doesn't
be
make it right
Chris
just
Brown,
because he
there
had that
wouldn't be-
career. It
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
Make it right.
It doesn't
You
make
can't
him
do
right
that.
at
You
all.
can't do
It
that.
doesn't make him right morally. But we have to think about Michael Jackson's musical legacy
Joe
because
Jackson,
of
you're a crazy motherfucker.
it. Yeah,
You get charged for that?
Holy
yeah.
shit.
I mean, if it's your child,
That's different, but
It's-
still.
yeah.
I mean, they make the shit, so.
You got to understand though, like DYFS was and human resources and just like how people lived back in the 60s and 70s were a lot more aggressive than how we live now as far as parenting and as far as morals and shit, because that's around the time of like Vietnam, Cold War type shit.
Niggas
So
getting their ass
But
whooped.
exactly,
to
that
the
goes back to
90s.
saying, like, him being a hard ass parent. That's like, when he, just imagine when he was a child, his
yeah,
upbringing.
exactly.
10 times probably, like.
Joe Jackson probably could have got it way worse than what he was giving out to his kids. You feel me? That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's not something that's some shit you really don't think about.
But the era
Michael
that they,
Jackson's career is a product of manipulation
Yeah.
and
yeah,
abuse.
the era that they
Holy
was
shit.
the era that they was brung up in, like you said, like that was during the era where, now people that started to say if you beat your child, like they can.
Yeah, that
You
was
get
that
in
was that
trouble.
was the norm back
You know
then.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was what was going on. Like discipline was the number one thing that you did with your kids.
You gonna learn today.
I'm gonna whip
Yeah.
my son's ass on certain
You gonna
things. You
learn
feel me? I'm not
today.
about to sit here and hold you. I'm from the hood. That's just how.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's the
Word.
thing. Like like
and
even
the shit
me,
works.
like I was born in '75.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
You burned your hand. You burn your hand on the stove. You're gonna fucking know.
yeah. Like I was
Word.
born in '75. So like even with that time, like
Teachers was giving it to you, like.
your teacher can beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like
Word.
for one,
God
you,
forbid that shit.
that was
Switch it
still
up.
during the time. That
Ah,
was
whoop
still
a
during the
teacher's ass
time
for touching
where
my child.
your
Fuck
parents
that.
would hit you with any and everything they can
And
find.
it wouldn't be considered
fucking
child abuse.
Extension cords.
I got broomsticks broken.
Hey, word.
yeah, like all of that shit.
And you Hispanic, you got it for real.
Yeah, everything in it.
And if you
everything
call
in
the
side.
cops, if you call the cops,
I'm whipping your ass two
Nah,
times as
before
hard.
they
the cops
get here.
gonna tell you to do it. Like, yo, did you know he
Word.
called? Yeah,
Facts.
no. If you call the cops and the cops come, like, say like you didn't know, they're gonna say, did you know he
beat
called
his
the
ass?
cops?
Beat his
Yeah,
ass.
yeah, you need to beat his ass.
It's over. You feel me? And my mom, she was born around the same time, and
I did that, by the way.
my mom,
What's
she
that?
was
Call
very.
the
I
cops.
came home from work. She was snapping one day. She like threw a chair. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but
It's all right.
she
Nah,
like, kicked
go
a
ahead.
hole in my. We were living at my grandmom's house. She kicked a hole in my door. I locked the door. She like opened the door. Finally, she convinced me like that everything was all right. She like
Yeah.
threw a chair. I don't know what the fuck she was going through. She must have had a bad day. She
Shit.
threw a chair. I called the cops, and like she convinced me that everything was all right. By the time the cops came, I said, "We should be all right." And he like looked at me and he's like, "You shouldn't have called."
Yeah,
I'm like, okay. But in the back of my
Damn.
mind, I'm like, is everything all right? Like, I didn't know
Yeah,
what the
because
fuck.
they
If
gotta
this
leave.
nigga closed his door right now, and my mom whipped my ass,
Like,
like,
when this cop leaves, I'm going back.
I
in my
can't
room,
call
I'm
him
locking my
back,
door. I'm like,
like-
fuck.
Yeah,
That's
because
real.
you got a lot of cops that still feel the exact same way. Like you were supposed to be disciplined.
crazy.
Like when I first got locked up, I was 14,
damn.
13, almost 14. Like when I came home, I remember coming home and thinking everything was sweet. I'm coming home with my fucking shoestrings in my hand and all that. I'm walking, everybody like, yo, where you was? Yeah, I was locked up. Yeah, you know what I mean? I go in the crib, she like, yo, go take a shower. You smell like jail. I'm thinking
Set
that.
me here. Fuck.
She's like, go take a shower. So I'm like, all right. So I'm on the. Should I get out the phone? Go take a. I get. Yo, I'm gonna call you back. I gotta go take a shower. I go take a shower. Walk past, go in the room. I still got the towel on me. As soon as I close my room door, the door opened back up.
Damn.
She came in there and whipped my
Damn.
Oh,
ass.
shit.
With the oh my
But
god.
she played it so sweet that I'm wet. I'm naked.
Oh man.
That's
Yeah,
the worst.
They had tactics. I'm telling you, man.
Yo, did you ever get the so they in Maryland down south they call it the tennis shoe. I'm sure you know that, like a sneaker they call it a tennis shoe.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
you heard that? So my dad's family's from Maryland, and one time I got the tennis shoe. Did you guys ever get the tennis shoe?
No, I got the brush though.
Oh my god!
I got
Like
the switch,
straight
nigga.
Fucking shoe beating on
But
your
you
fucking
see
ass,
how
like,
Yo,
all that
that's so-
discipline, all that
Holy
discipline
shit.
and ass whoopings
I
made
ain't,
us the very respectable and moral having people we are today.
Yo, all
I ain't
did-
never got my
was over
ass beat for the
cousin's
same
house,
thing, dog.
And I was around my little
Ever.
cousins. All I said was "fuck." Okay, my uncle heard me. He walked down the basement. I was like, I was a little more mature than my cousins. Obviously, I was older, and I was like, "Fuck." And he told my dad. My dad whooped my ass. He gave me the tennis shoe that day.
Yeah,
But that's
word.
why I'm kind of in between. Like when it comes to like the Joe Jackson thing, I'm kind of in between with that because for one, like he was disciplined in the way he made them something.
He did.
Yeah, he made them
It
something
wasn't
like
for nothing.
yeah, it wasn't for
Yeah.
nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like no matter how you look at it, and like how aggressive he was, he had plans for his kids. You know what I'm
If
saying?
you really think about it, if the mother was in the picture, there's 2 versus 5 badass kids. There is not no kid that is not bad.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta handle 5 kids, B.
Word.
Yeah.
Facts.
You gonna have to do something.
5
They gonna-
kids
they
and
gonna outnumber
three
you.
daughters. You feel me?
But then you gotta look like he kept them off the street.
He
They
did.
wasn't on the street.
He wasn't selling crack.
They
or
wasn't
nothing.
getting in like nothing. Like everything was.
He did, but he like I know parents like that, and that's not cool. Like you can't. Like Michael Jackson had no fucking choice.
Yeah, he had no
It's
choice.
crazy.
But
bro.
you don't. No kid really have a choice.
You should definitely, but it goes back into like the mental health part. Like, Michael Jackson did some of the things he did because he felt like he didn't have that as a childhood. That's
Yeah.
why he had the big ass. I mean, I'm pretty sure he liked that shit too, like the zoo and shit, the carnival. That's why I'm pretty sure that he had like kids over. He
Yeah,
didn't
that's
see
that is the reason.
when he had kids in his bed, he didn't see
Because
it like
he
that,
didn't get
That was the way he didn't get it.
Shit,
But females is like that too. Like
That's crazy.
most females
That's
is
why he had the Neverland Ranch.
yeah. He didn't
Holy
have.
shit.
Well, we just talked like with Lil Wayne, like like when he started all young, now everything that he's doing,
Right.
skateboarding,
Right, he's still
everything,
doing little kid stuff.
because he didn't have, he was young when he got signed.
Right.
When he got on, and had to do adult shit, and that's like if you have a child, you 14 years old, now your discipline is different. Like your parents can't even discipline you the way they would if you didn't have a child, because now you have a child. So now you don't even get that same discipline. So now you got a female who had a child 13, 14, and then you looking at her now like, and she want to party, and she doing all the stuff that she was doing, supposed to do when she was younger,
Right.
and then you looking at her like she crazy, but she didn't have
Right. Let
that
him live.
time.
Can I live?
So now it's like I gotta live now.
Right.
Jay-Z, you see?
What you
Jay-Z
mean?
made expressive songs as well, like
Yeah.
Jay, bro.
I'm just saying, bro. Like to a certain
That's
degree,
crazy.
I'd rather have my psyche rather than platinum plaques. You feel me? Michael Jackson was not mentally okay.
No, he
Exactly.
wasn't. He
He
wasn't.
was not all right.
He was fucked up for a long time.
And no
That's
matter
crazy.
no matter how much success and how much money he had, the man was not okay in his own mind.
I'm mind blown sitting here thinking of so many things.
Joe Jackson, we're not about to sit here and we're not gonna sit here and act like what he did was conducive to his mental state. It was conducive to his success, but Michael had not only did Michael get beat, he had to lie about his age for years. He had to do certain dance moves that he didn't want to do. He had to do certain songs he didn't want to do. Dress certain ways he didn't want to dress. You feel me? He was literally pressured into having sex.
You know what his main problem was?
What?
The pressure. Out of all his brothers and all of that, like and the business, he was the business. You had the Jackson 5, but he was the man
Right.
at his youngest state. You know what I'm saying? So
That was
he-
built around him.
yeah, it was all built around him. So the thing about it, all the pressures of them being famous, them staying on top, everything that they had to do, all the pressure was on him. Like the pressure was always on him. That's why when he got the chance, like, yo, I just want to do my own stuff.
Right.
But by the time he did that, he was already mentally gone.
Fucked up, yeah.
But I think that still kind of helped him because now at this stage it's just like him doing his own thing and what he want to do. Because you notice when I don't know if you know
But did he
the whole
really
story.
get to fulfill that though?
No, but the whole thing is it's like once Mike got to a certain position to where he started doing his own thing, he closed everybody out.
Right.
He closed everybody out and just did his own thing. He hired who he wanted to hire, work with who he wanted to work with, because he had to get out of what he was in. But his mind is already fucked up.
Yo, I'm literally still sitting here thinking about like so I used to have such a different opinion. Like it's changed over the years. Like I had an opinion on like how he had like the Neverland Ranch. Like when I was a kid, I couldn't wrap my mind around it. I thought he was crazy. But like thinking about it now I understand why he did that.
Everything he couldn't do.
Fucking crazy. Oh my god.
Everything he couldn't do. Like if you
Holy
look,
shit.
if you got somebody that was signed at 13, 14 years old, let's just say that you get a deal. You 13, 14, 15 years old. You still a child.
Right.
Now that childhood that you would have had, them teenage years, now you live in an adult life. But now let's look at Michael Jackson. He was a kid. So he did. So not only most people that become stars at a young age, they're usually teenagers. He was a child. So that means he didn't have his childhood at all.
Right. So
he didn't get to do nothing kids did.
people that become stars at a young age, they're gonna start wilding out.
Yeah, they that's what usually happens. Like, and it's crazy because the majority of them, you look like all these young TV stars, and they didn't have a childhood, so now they doing crazy stuff, and they growing up right in front of us. Like, so the crazy stuff that they do, you be looking like, why are you doing that? But then you got to look, they didn't get to do the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So now they want to do the dumb shit.
People getting signed at 16 now, though, like 16 and 17.
Yeah, they
18.
do. They do. And
What just coming out with records like right away, like
yeah, right
albums.
Right away. So that's what I'm saying. So if you look at somebody that's 16, 17 years old with a deal, especially if they successful at 16, 17 years old,
Justin Bieber, fucking, he's gonna start wilding out.
Yeah, but you know he had that phase. He wild.
Now.
Yeah,
Been wilding
yeah.
out.
I'm about to say that.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He had.
How long's he been a star, by the way? How
That-
long's he been? Like when did Usher?
He
How
was-
old
He
is
had
he?
his phase. He had his.
How
He'll
old
be
is he?
back in the media soon.
Yeah,
That was 6 years. That was 8 years ago.
but you got to look. He had the whole wilding stage, but then you go through this phase, and luckily he did it at the age that he did it, because he still had a chance to get that out of his system and grow up.
Right.
Look at Chris Brown. Chris Brown was on early, bro.
Yeah.
That Reddit, bro, he looked like Babyface in that.
Yo,
song.
and he had Joel Santana on the remix, bitch.
Bro, you know
Right?
how big that is
That
for
shit's
his
hard, yeah.
16, what I think he was?
Yeah, 15,
Bro,
16.
15, 16, bro.
Hold up. Check it.
And you know he wild. He's still wilding, but he's
Man.
he's also maturing. You know,
Poor
like,
Chris Breezy, bro. He just got arrested again, bro, for the battery of a woman.
Yeah, I heard that.
Man.
Yeah.
Chris
Can't
Brown.
get caught up in that same shit.
He wildin', bro. Trippie Redd just got arrested for pistol whipping a bitch.
See, they
6'9",
bugging.
6'9",
You know,
just-
but
He got arrested for choking a 16-year-old. That happened a year ago, though.
That's
The
crazy.
little nigga just now pressing charges on him.
Yeah, and I heard he got like sent to like.
But
somewhere
women,
for
yo,
his safety
women
or
be
something.
lying
Rikers.
too,
He's
B.
getting threats.
Yeah.
You got
Women
you gotta
definitely
watch it, yo.
exaggerate
It be some women be setting people, celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
Get set
Definitely.
up every
Most
day,
definitely.
B.
I don't believe for one
talked about
second
that
Bill
before.
Cosby touched all of them bitches. Maybe
Every-
5. Because he
Every he a
weirdo for
chick
real.
that ever met Bill Cosby
I do.
now is coming up and saying some shit because
You feel me?
Bill Cosby was in his bag.
Yeah,
He
word.
was in his bag.
He was the man back then.
He was in
though,
his
bro.
bag.
And
You
plus-
gotta- you gotta look how long
that
Bill
man alone.
Look how long Bill Cosby was on.
He was on for a minute. You
Yeah, he
feel
was
me?
on for
Yo,
a
people
long
need to
time.
Hell yeah.
Leave the fuck alone.
Yo, he was on for a long time.
But,
and then you gotta look
Yo.
at the era that he came up in. That was during that era when they gave you drugs.
Where people was putting Xanax in motherfuckers' drinks all the time.
Yeah, that's
You
what they
know,
did.
if you
It's a
know
party.
someone only
Yeah.
has,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
someone
the
only
party.
has maybe possibly 5, 10, 15 years left to live, let them leave them the fuck alone.
I think it's fucked up that they doing it now.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's fucked up.
Where was
But
this shit 20 years ago?
But you know what happened?
Once
You
you,
know
left
he
the
was.
Cosby Show, you should have came out. Cause
Like some bitch was
Word.
yo, I'm gonna
Word.
wait until this man
Yo,
is
who was on the
80-something
Cosby
years
Show?
old.
Raven
Nah,
Simone,
that ain't
right?
what it was. You know he was
They
about
said,
to.
yeah, but they say a lot of it. They say a lot of the girls, you know, like they waited for mad long because they were scared, you know, because
Nah, that's
in
not-
the entertainment business,
That
if you
is-
put out if you pull out a black car, if you
can't argue
expose
with
a
that.
black car, or you know somebody that's really big, you get shunned.
Word.
Nobody want to work with you no more.
Word.
But that was an excuse because you got to look when that started happening. When that started happening, when they grabbed Bill started giving him them cases, he was just about to buy the network. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like, okay, now when he's about, like, when
Talk
he's,
about it.
yeah, like when he's about to make this crazy power move, now all of a sudden you got all these people coming out. They went and dug it up. They went and dug it up and tried to bury him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
soon as they stopped, like that contract ended with Bill Cosby. That's when they should have came out.
But I don't think they had plans. I don't think they had plans on pursuing it. That's what I'm saying. It's just like when you go to run for president, what happens? They start digging everything up you did to try to keep you from winning.
But Donald Trump ain't in jail. He done touched all types of pussies. Made all types of bitches. The bitch. This is so important, bro, because the lady who got Emmett Till killed is not in jail, but she just admitted that she lied about everything.
She died though.
Did she? She did.
Yeah, she said that on her deathbed.
Yeah,
she was smart.
She was. Yeah, she
said, I'm
she
gave
gave
it to the grave.
Word.
But she ain't keep her word though. You know what I'm saying? She didn't keep her word.
That's even still though. That's
so fucked up, bro.
That's really fucked up.
Yo, that's the type of world we live in,
and
dog.
none of her family gonna get any type of like consequence for that. You feel me? Because I guarantee you, it's more motherfuckers that knew but her. You feel me? Like you can't
That's
sit.
some cold shit.
That's some cold shit. The bitch was like, "Oh, I finally feel sympathy because one of my family members died." You should have felt sympathy because you got an innocent black boy killed. You feel me? And I was talking to one of my white friends about it. I'm not gonna say his name because y'all gonna get mad at the next shit I say. Fucking, he was like, and I love this nigga to death still. You feel me? I'm just not gonna get mad at him over his difference of opinion. The nigga was like, yeah, the bitch was wrong, but at the same time, old boy probably should have kept his mouth shut because it was the 1940s and black people getting killed left and right over anything.
Which is true. He was being stupid, but at the same time, he was being free. To be honest, if I die for doing something that was against the law that I felt that the law was wrong in, I'm not gonna. I mean, you ain't gonna have no feelings when you're dead anyway. But you know what I'm saying, don't feel bad. You know what I'm saying, like,
exactly.
I died because of being free. That's freedom. Usually happens right before you die.
Yeah,
you know, like,
most
that's why most people who be on their deathbed, they let out everything. So they can be free. They ain't got nothing to think about that's gonna.
Definitely was eating her the whole time.
Eating her.
It was
eating her.
Yeah. But I even still, like, that's just wrong to have that kind of mindset. I shouldn't have to watch what the fuck I say or watch who I whistle at allegedly just because I'm a black man in public. You feel me?
Shit was different, and
we talk about 1945.
A lot of millennials nowadays would not have survived with the attitudes we have.
Nah, yeah, you're right. I most definitely agree with that.
But then again,
that's
growing up in that time, you just learned to adapt to that. Like, it was so different.
What I don't necessarily,
as a parent, how scary that shit would. Bro.
Yeah,
like, what?
Yeah.
They dragged mans out of his house in front of his uncle, dog. You feel me? Emmett Till, I don't even think was from that part of the country. He was visiting family, and he had just so happened to allegedly whistle at a white woman. She felt some type of way, so everybody, all her boyfriend's friends, came to kill some young 14-year-old boy. You feel me?
Crazy.
It's nuts. And now it's even worse because there's places like Chicago where niggas get killed for less. Niggas get killed for the type of shit.
I know people who died over $10. Like,
you feel me?
Seriously.
$10, bro.
Seriously.
Or just like what kind of shoes they got on, or like what kind of iPhone I got. You feel me? That shit is crazy. That shit is nuts.
That's greed.
Like it don't make no sense,
That's
bro.
Crazy.
It makes no sense at all.
How you want something so much more and it's literally like worthless.
Tupac,
you're gonna kill somebody.
Tupac even said it, bro. He was like, me being rich, me having all these gold chains and all these millionaires having all this money, and us not helping people who need something is wrong.
Yeah,
it's not cool.
And that's the reason why we still at, us and minorities are still at where we're at. We don't help each other, man.
That's true. That's really true.
But
leadership. We need leadership.
That's why
leadership.
people like Pac and people like XXXTentacion are so important to rap.
Stop following followers.
Shout out to J. Cole.
And J. Cole and Kendrick and Drake's even to a certain
degree.
degree.
That's why I respect all those guys the most, because they're fucking leaders.
But even
they're
the people
the
who
right shit.
Even the people who help people, even the artists who make it big and do help people, they still get hated on.
Yeah.
No matter what, people that still hate on Jay-Z, Diddy,
XXX.
Yeah.
All the record labels all these artists who have their own record labels, they hate on it. Oh, they did this guy dirty. They did Brandy dirty. Like you know how they say Diddy did Brandy dirty.
Or Cassie. Or
Bro,
but MGK eating
at
it.
the
He signed
end
the
of the day, you are responsible for your own money.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got you to that stardom.
French Montana signed the Bad Boy. No complaints, right?
No complaints.
No
at
complaints. At all.
It depends on what you're doing with
He
your
seems
money,
happy.
man. Like
He just got his own fucking Ciroc line. You feel me? French eating. He good. MGK, it took a long time for him to be at the position that he's in, but he's been good for years. Waka Flocka, even to a certain degree, when he was signed to Gucci and all this other shit was like happening, Waka even admitted that even through all the financial turmoil that him and Gucci were dealing with, he ain't had to worry about shit since 2009. And Waka got on in 2008. You feel me? So, like, you can't really, like Evan said, you have to be responsible about your own bread.
yeah, like niggas, you know, like shit's not always going to be great all the time. Shit will always go sour. It's like
Yeah.
any fruit will go sour if you leave that shit out.
That's why a lot of rappers still sell drugs, even with a record deal, because they not about.
'Cause
Pusha
they're
T
scared.
said it best, bro. I don't trust rap. I don't trust rap niggas or rap money. You feel me?
Right.
I don't trust rap money at all, because rap money is short money.
Yeah.
Unless you,
You
like,
can't. No, you can't solely just trust that.
unless you
Yeah.
the Migos and you putting out a hit every
It's a
single
done.
business. It's a business.
Them niggas put out hits, bro.
You're
It's a
limiting
business.
yourself.
You wait till I get on, B. Y'all don't even, son. What? Wait till I get on. I'm dropping, bro. It's gonna be shit coming out every month, every week.
Feel me?
I might do it a year of really just
Right.
like just dropping originals and then do the next year of freestyles.
That's what Russ did. That's how Russ got on. I don't even like his music, but you gotta respect his work ethic. He dropped
I
a
do.
song every week
Yeah.
on SoundCloud. Didn't tag people on Facebook, none of that. He just dropped shit. You feel me? And that shit is really real. Like, you have to have a work ethic when it comes to this rap shit, bro,
For real.
or else it's not gonna work. But I digress. I think we should probably switch to our next topic.
I'll let you announce this one because I don't know what the fuck
Let me
this is.
let me see the phone,
I don't know
bro.
what the fuck this
Let me
is.
see the phone, bro.
I don't
I'm
know
so
what the
happy
fuck
about this
is.
topic, bro.
No, you're not. Stop.
Our next topic is XXX versus Pac.
The fuck does that mean?
Oh man,
That's not our next topic.
not
That's not our next topic. That's not our next topic.
A lot of new generation kids are saying that a lot of new generation kids who listen to Pac are saying that XXX was our Pac, was this generation's Pac.
Stop.
Negative.
Stop it.
Negative.
I thought we already we
Let me
been
tell
through
you
this.
why. Let me tell you
Stop.
why I agree, and let me tell you why I
Come on,
disagree.
man.
Let me tell you why I disagree first. Because Pac was a Black Panther. Pac was trying to change how black people and other people saw how other people viewed black people. Pac's parents were Black Panthers. Pac was trying to change the world on a political standpoint, and his, I guess you could say to a mental health degree, but his focal point was politics. His focal point was changing the world in a political way. X was trying to change people's view on mental health and to an emotion and unity on emotional standpoints. That's where they differ. And I'm pretty sure Pac has more music than him.
I'm not going to take this away from X. We don't know what he would have done, and this is the thing that fucks me up the most about his legacy dying before it really got started.
Before it got started,
but
yeah.
like, and that sucks. But like, I'm not about to sit here
At
and
the-
say like he's
No,
he's
this-
the
First
Pac
thing
of our
first,
generation.
what you should have said
They
was
have
there would
similarities.
never be another Pac.
There won't ever be another Pac.
Never.
Never going to be another
Ever.
Pac.
No,
Never.
but this is the thing. This is the thing with Pac. With Pac, you know, a lot of people get that confused. It's like you were saying, like the things that he was trying to do. Pac wasn't trying to be nothing but Pac. Like
Fact.
that was one.
True.
Two.
He didn't give a fuck about anything else.
Yeah, two, it was just that if you, whatever you know, you're going to speak about it. So with his upbringing and stuff like that and the things that he was taught, he's not going to give a regular interview like the average person.
He
When
wasn't a
start-
regular man.
Yeah, when he started talking and they asking him questions, they asking him questions about stuff that they know he know. Like anybody, if you interviewing somebody and they into classic cars, what's your conversation going to be
Classic
about?
cars.
Right.
Right.
Not a fucking Lamborghini.
That
Right.
Man, that
So-
man is so layered. Pac
Right.
is so layered.
We talking about a man
so
who would
deep.
go to prison for beating niggas up,
If-
then come out of prison and be like, you should
But-
be like Martin Luther
But
King.
if anybody you want to compare like Pac's mental to, and nobody really thinks about this, T.I. is the only person that
Thank
speaks
you.
like him.
Thank you.
Because No, I'm gonna tell you why.
Now that
I'm gonna tell you why.
that
I'd be
is something
onto
I can
something.
stand behind because I personally said that myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like when it comes to like I said with Pac and with him talking and stuff like that, he was just talking about his studies and the stuff that he knew and the stuff that he was passionate about.
Tip was the
So-
Pac of my generation.
Right, so when you talking to T.I. is not going to sit here and be talking about the block and stuff like that. T.I. is smart. T.I. is a businessman. T.I. is a lot of things right now. So when
He is a social chameleon.
right, so when you talking to him, you're going to have a hell of a conversation, and he's going to get down and talk about the stuff that the average person is scared to talk about or
talk to
don't
Tip
know
for
about.
hours. Yeah, I could
Yo,
talk
he
to Tip for
articulates
hours.
himself so well.
Yeah, like he's very well spoken.
Yeah,
Very
like-
well
like,
spoken. Super
he
smart.
He could be in a room
Yeah.
with like white execs.
Right.
Something
All
I'll
white
say
execs.
about-
And they do.
talk very well spoken.
He's very well.
when he's back to the trap. You know,
Right.
like-
Something I'll say about X is that he wasn't very articulate. You could watch videos of him, even
Right.
when he was being positive, he would be like, "I
because
don't."
He was a victim of
Yeah.
of mental.
He would be like, "Oh, I don't care if you're black, white, straight, or a faggot." He would literally say this in every. He would, yeah, and he was from Florida. You feel me? So like, the nigga was a gully kind of dude. You
A
feel
lot
me?
of times that becomes a problem too because you got people and you look and you gotta say like, I'm not a role model.
Yeah,
You know, you just asking me a question and I'm answering the question. That's the way you took my answer.
yeah.
You know,
Can't be mad about how I was.
it might have been the question that I answered. I might answer it and it could have been deep. But I'm speaking about what I know or what I feel or I'm passionate about, you know, what it is. But the thing like with Pac, like I said, with Pac, like if you look at Pac's career, Pac's career didn't start off the way that it ended. You know, he went through phases. And the Pac that he died being wasn't the Pac. If he would have died during the I Get Around time in the digital underground, you wouldn't have looked at him the same way because that's not what he progressed
Right.
to.
And that's why I said we don't know what X would have became. We
But-
don't know that, but you can't just because there's similarities,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah, he could have ended up popping somebody or you know what I
We
mean
could
doing
sit and
any.
compare rappers all day. There's so many similarities.
Yeah, somebody.
Rappers.
I
Yeah,
just the reason
Who
why
is the closest thing to
to,
Pac?
I have to
I
say
think honestly
T.I.
T.I.
In my
Ti
opinion.
on all
I'm
spectrums.
so
Yeah,
glad you said
T.I.
that.
On all spectrums, Ti.
yeah, T.I. But like I said, a lot of people,
Yeah.
don't look at it. But
Actually, he made a song for him saying that. What the fuck is that song? Pac's Life? Was it Pac's Life? You remember Tip dropped a song called Pac's Life, I think?
no, I don't
Saying
know that
that
song.
He actually made a song saying how he is
Oh,
Pac of
okay.
our generation.
Yeah, because I hate when I hear people talking, but like that's why when that Tupac, that Meek joint when he dropped that, I was like,
Tupac's back.
nah, you
Tupac
drawn,
is- yeah, you drawn.
like you drawn. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is,
That was the marketing plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that song went
When
double
that song-
platinum.
and the song-
Ross,
Yeah.
yo, you gotta respect Ross, bro.
oh yeah,
I
yeah.
was just saying this
Ross.
last night.
So mad when that song dropped. I'm like, stop it.
Ross-
No, I like Ross because of the fact that he's not your average. Yeah, like he took. All right, you got. Let's say an artist like, and it's crap. I'm just gonna say it like this is my team, but he know I hate him for it. Benny Siegel. Like, let's say Benny Siegel and State Property. If Mac would have treated his artists like they was stars and
Instead of
he wasn't the only star, he would have been in a better position that he's in right now, and so would all of them artists.
Yeah.
So would the whole State Property. Like if he would have helped, they put them in that position that he was capable of doing during that time he was capable of doing it, it would have been
Do
crazy.
you think he was more just about himself?
He was about himself.
Yeah.
And when you look at somebody like Rick Ross, when
He's selfless sometimes.
yeah, it's that he came on, he brought artists on, and when the artist got big, he didn't try to like hold the artist down. He
Nah.
pushed them.
Yep.
It didn't matter if the artist got bigger than him.
Dude, I can get behind.
Yeah,
For real.
it didn't matter because he looked at the fact that if my artist is major, that keeps me in the game. That keeps me relevant. Every time you think Maybach music, you think Rick Ross.
When you help other people, people don't realize this. When you help other people, you're helping yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was one of them dudes like Rick Ross, Cam,
Definitely can.
50. Like they was, they was,
Put them on, yeah.
they was them dudes. Like he really put his team on, and it was like, even when they was, I used to look like fucking Yayo, fucking this,
Right, like that dude can't rap, but
yeah, you looking like this. He's trash.
and he's still like he stood behind him and saluted him.
Yeah, Lloyd was cool.
Lloyd could spit. Buck
But,
was
all right,
alright.
but that's-
Lloyd, I think Banks is probably the nicest in the
Yeah,
group.
Banks nice.
He one of the nicest niggas to come out of New York.
Banks underrated. Banks is underrated. But the
States are crazy.
reason why he's so underrated because people was judging him by the team.
Yeah.
People was judging him by the team.
Right.
And the thing about it is, like I said, like if Mac would have did the exact same thing for state property, they would have been in that same position to where as though you look at Yayo, he driving Bentleys and he's doing this, that, and the thing. You looking like, oh, he's trash.
Garbage.
Like this team is trash. This team is trash. So, but he backed this team. He made them look good. He made sure they were straight. That make them look like winners.
Right.
So, if your team eating and or if you got money and your team broke, that don't make you look good. So they knew that strategy. Like I'm gonna look out for my boys.
Like Meek said,
Weezy's
got
another
the
one.
whole team rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. Exactly.
Weezy puts on for his team.
He does,
He
but
does.
he's very hindered by his.
Nah, he doesn't.
What
They're not.
Weezy, what he on
He
dedications,
made-
on
yeah.
the droughts, he put everybody on his tracks,
he did.
bro.
Tyga, Drizzy,
Nicki Minaj's first track.
So you think
He
so?
really
So
rides
let's
for
talk
his
about
team.
this. So
Young
you think?
Money.
So
Yeah.
you think that
not the
the
affiliation with Cash Money. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm just talking about Weezy and his people.
So you
That's
think
it.
that some of the
Even with
dudes
Cash
that
Money, Hot Boys, I mean,
But that goes right back to what we just
Yeah, there
said.
was too much.
Look at when Wayne went to jail.
Yeah.
You forgot he was locked up because his team was tearing shit up on the street,
shit up, bro.
topping charts. And they was what I'm saying, like he came home and he was
Drake and Nicki.
he was straight. Yeah, he had
They
Drake.
knew, they knew who
That's
their
why
leader
he
was.
wasn't mad that Drake fucked his girlfriend. You feel me? Because the nigga came out, he was millions
like, all right,
dollar
you
richer
making me
off
money,
these
whatever.
niggas. Like, yeah, you feel me?
She wasn't my girlfriend.
Yeah.
He fucked her.
Right.
Exactly.
Straight up.
But my whole thing is like when it comes to like people comparing X and Pac, I feel like the only reason that they really comparing the two is because of the fact that they both spoke on such high volume things that other rappers weren't doing at the time. And I'm not gonna sit here and say like X was like Pac. I'm gonna say he had similarities to Pac, but X couldn't
Thank you.
couldn't articulate himself like Pac. X couldn't really move like Pac. And we see that because X got killed by his lonely. You feel me? He didn't move with so many heads like Pac did. You feel me? X got killed by himself. And the main reason why so many people are tying X to Pac as far as similarities is because kids in our generation don't have that person like we had Pac. You
They
feel
don't
me?
even know Pac. For
They
them
don't.
they don't.
saying that.
Yeah, word.
And it's crazy because I was just about to ask you
They ain't
because to
seen
be
no
honest, I don't know
Justin
about him.
X.
To be honest, like I don't know. Like
they
when he
watch
died,
the
that's when I
You know what I mean?
This is the kind of dude he was, bro.
didn't know. I didn't even hear about him for real.
Pac was a dope actor.
Some people didn't like.
I didn't know about it until he. Yeah, that's why they said dead rappers get the best promotion. Because I didn't know about him until after the fact.
I didn't know who the fuck Chinks Drugs was until he died. I'm not about to
Yeah.
hold you.
See, like I knew Chinks before he died.
I had no idea what his
bro,
music was like.
I'm a bar
I don't know who he is
heavy.
now.
I'm a bar heavy.
You don't know who
fan.
Chinks is?
Oh,
Crazy.
Yeah,
That's
man.
nuts.
You got it, yo. If you like that, like bars, bro. Yo, Chinks had bars, man.
It's some people who don't even know who Capital Steez was before until he died.
That's sad.
If anybody,
I still don't know who that is. So
you don't know who if anybody is like Tupac,
error.
and if anybody is like Tupac as a young man, it has to be Capital Steez because Cap was talking about the same things as Tupac was. Cap was trying to bring people to a higher level of consciousness and shit like that. You feel me? And Capital Steez killed himself.
I don't
But
mean to be like a conspiracy theorist, but like, do you
Here we go.
believe people die? Yeah.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go
Do
ahead.
you believe people die? I gotta say it. Do you believe people die like right before they become like before they get in a position of power where they're gonna speak on some real shit and just wake people?
Yeah.
Like, do you believe people
Yeah,
that
I
once you
do.
woke die? Like, is that just a coincidence?
Yeah, it goes
Do you
down to
believe
your
in,
music
like,
influence.
I don't want to say the word.
Niggas
You know,
wanted
you know
Pac
what I'm
dead
saying?
for real, bro. Just based off of who his parents was, niggas wanted Pac dead. Based
Facts.
off, you feel me? Based off his gang affiliation, people wanted Pac
And
dead.
because he's so wise. I
Exactly.
believe people don't want people that are
People
wise
in the
a
music
position of
industry
power.
don't want people like Pac or people like X or people like
want
Cap.
people in a position of power at the top.
That's
where they're
slaves.
dumbing down
Yeah.
everybody else, not educating them.
People want
Yeah.
motherfuckers like Kesha. You feel me?
Yeah,
And Kesha
right.
Kesha trying to be free herself.
Right.
She was getting raped by her manager, bro. And she's still not
Literally
out of
raped?
that. I swear to God.
Like, not rape, like figure of speech rape, like
Raped.
like physically raped.
Physically raped and sexually
the
assaulted
fuck
by
up.
her manager, bro.
For
Yes.
real, for real.
I put it on my life,
Oh
bro.
my god.
And she's still not out of
What?
that deal.
When did this come out?
Probably like 2015.
God damn, I didn't hear about that.
It's 2018. I don't even think she's still out of that deal. You feel me? Like, bro, like,
So she's getting raped and getting raped.
yeah. She don't
Yeah.
want to make that music, bro. She actually super talented, bro. If you really watch her play piano
people
and,
bash
and
the
watch
fuck
her
out of
sing,
her, bro.
people bash her because of the image that her manager and her label forced her to fucking portray. Her label not doing shit about her manager raping her, bro.
That's why a lot of artists try to go independent first.
Because he's
But-
bringing them money.
Exactly. And exactly what Evan said. A lot of artists are trying to go independent because nobody wants to be literally
Right.
or
Slaves.
figuratively raped.
Raped, yeah.
You can't sit here and tell me some of these hip hop artists ain't out here sucking dick for
That's
a
my
bit,
art.
for a
I
deal.
don't want you controlling that shit.
But
Tell me
it's
what to
only
do.
now. It's only now that we even artists. That's why I say about the game. I don't care what we say about like the rappers and how they suck, how they ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate these rappers and I hate that rapper. The game is great now. Like
is. The game is in a great-
the way that the internet has made it. You don't need a label. You don't need certain stuff that you needed before.
Right.
You know, but I think the thing about being signed and having a deal. Now I'm gonna say, I had a conversation with Chris and Irv Gotti, and they was talking about Ashanti, right? Now everything that Ashanti dropped was out of here,
Yeah.
and she didn't want to drop none of that shit. Like she used to argue with them
Yeah.
about not wanting to put it out. She
She
thought that they used to tell her like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like I'm putting this out. Like it is what it is, because they knew what was going to sell.
Irv
They
Gotti's
had
a
that.
smart guy.
They had that vision, and they was the machines.
Right.
You know, so after they dropped and it was gone, then it's like, what you want to say after that? But the thing about being independent, you can put out something until something catch. It's just more work instead of you sitting in a room and
They're telling you what you want.
and they telling you, yeah, this is it. Because a lot of times the artists think something is it, and we'll sit back and say that's not
not
it.
gonna
That's
sell,
not
bro.
it.
Yo,
And
when Beyonce first came out with her first solo album, dog, her record label told her there's no singles on this. She had five platinum, triple platinum singles, and her label told her this none of this shit is gonna sell.
It'd just be a bunch of people sitting at a table saying, you
With
know,
different views.
yeah, with different views. Like, but how like, what makes y'all view so good? You know, and there be some weird ass people. You know, it don't matter if you like weird, but then again, it's like, how can you tell me what you think is better for me to drop when I just made it? It's my
Yeah,
art.
exactly. It's my art. And
Right.
first off, and adding on to that, these executives are only executives. They don't speak for a demographic that they don't know.
Right.
They can't speak for a demographic
Right.
that they don't know.
Right.
So if I was
They don't know
someone
what's gonna touch people.
exactly.
I know what the people want.
I think what it is, well, actually, I know what it is. The thing about what that is what they are willing to take the risk with.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. They need to be more open minded with
Yeah,
the artists. Like they're
yeah,
not
they-
willing to risk so much.
Right. But I mean, now they are because of the way the game is. They
A little
willing,
more so, yeah.
Yeah, because they know they can keep putting out stuff. But you have to
And we
look.
have more subgenres today.
Right. But then you got to
Way
look.
more
Let's just say
subgenres.
when a
You can make
time
a song
that
that sounds like rock and it's hip hop.
Yeah, but let's just say during the
Crazy.
times that it was only CDs and you had to sell albums. Now, you putting this single out and they pressing up 1 million copies. That's money that they wasted if you don't go platinum.
Right.
You know, so now
At the end of the day, it is a business. They need
Right.
to protect their investment.
right, so it's like now if you want to put the song out, all right, put the shit out because you want to put it out. We're gonna upload it everywhere, and if it don't take, you can put another one out. But that's why
Right.
the
Roll
labels
Star
just
some
wasn't willing to take that chance
That
before.
Because they had to press it up, put all the money.
They had to put all this money out, and then remember what we were saying before, like you had to put all this promotion shit out. You had to get billboards, you had to get promo trucks, you had to get flyers,
That
you had to
shit.
get a bunch of stuff that just wasn't willing to take that risk.
As an artist, to you new artists, and I'm a new artist myself, but as an artist, just coming from a business mind, you have more leverage when you have money to invest in yourself.
Jay-Z.
You need a hustle. Like, this is something that people don't understand. I have a hustle that I make money, and then I invest in myself. I don't need any motherfuckers to invest in me. I'm
So
gonna
it doesn't
invest in
matter
myself.
what type of music you make if you
Right.
have your own hustle that's
Exactly.
working.
And
Exactly.
you could leverage better business deals. That's what artists need to learn. Business. It's a business. You'll get eaten alive out here.
Hell yeah.
Learn the fucking business.
Hell yeah. Like it's
Like,
certain,
we're gonna win.
it's
I'm
certain
telling you that.
it's certain shit, bro, that people really don't understand, like the ins and outs of this shit. Like motherfuckers just are really blind and really think that because of people like Post Malone or like Lil Pump that they could just post some shit on SoundCloud
Exactly.
and just get big. Like
People
out of
think
nowhere.
there's one song bangers that's happening. Like, is that easy? You could just put a microphone in front of you, and then I've talked to a lot of people that swear they rap and haven't even like don't even know what the studio is. You know,
Word,
like,
like,
bro,
bro,
I got a lot of stuff written and ready. I just gotta find the
Yeah,
right
such a
person.
ways
Like,
to
they're
go.
just gonna wow somebody. Like, see, back in the day, it was easy for somebody to wow somebody because there wasn't that much rappers that's out there.
Yeah.
So like, if you
and the content
if you
being out
found
wasn't
that
that great.
person, and it wasn't that easy to get to
Yeah.
the content. So you found that person back in the day, just hit them with bars or whatever, some great shit. You can get signed like that. Nowadays, there's so much artists, so much rappers, so much producers. Is not that the competition is crazy. So you have to really put that work in, or have that business, have that
Right.
blueprint to where you're gonna get to where you want to be.
Yeah,
And
man.
then on top of that is we'll look at like battle rappers and stuff like that, and they so lyrical and you know the punchlines and everything. You know, because then we look like, God damn, he hot, but then they can't make songs.
They can't make songs.
You know, so a lot of even with that comes down to a risk too. When you got somebody that walk up to you on the street and that's spitting bars and you blown away, but it's like, well, do
Can
you
you
know
make a
how to
song?
dumb it down because the game is dumb right
Yep.
now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You know
saying?
how to make
The
a
game-
hook? Can you
Yeah,
write a
people,
hook?
right? Yeah,
No
people,
disrespect to anybody, but the game's retarded right now.
huh?
Game is
It's
super
retarded.
Yeah,
retarded.
it is.
Retarded.
Yeah, yeah,
As far
because
as
it's,
lyricists, bro, we have none. Barely.
Yeah.
I think people are going to
Whoa.
be shocked when I drop my tape.
Hey, you have me. So it ain't dead, you know. It's just an
it's
ICU
not
right
dead. It's
now.
coming back.
God,
No, but
to be
it's
able to
coming
make
back.
songs.
Shout out to Rock Nation. Rock Nation making that
Word. Facts.
making that happen too. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Jay-Z is very, very big on keeping lyricism
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that kind
You
of shit
know,
alive.
you know one thing I want to say. I don't know if you guys noticed, but you know Eminem's manager Paul just became like the head of Def Jam. He's like the CEO
No
of Def
bullshit.
Jam. Yeah. So
Emi-
like, and he's all about lyricism. I really think the game's gonna
We
head in a
bu-
good direction, bro.
Bitch! Yo,
Yeah.
it's over. We
That's
about
what
to
I'm saying.
take shit by storm,
Yeah.
dog. Like,
Def Jam's really about to like make some big changes for hip hop.
bro, I promise you,
I
like,
fucking love. When I heard that, I was so excited.
I promise you, like, bro, in the next 2 years, 4 tops, you will see grown man rap come back.
Paul, we out here, bro.
It's coming back.
It is
Hit us
coming
up.
back.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like a Dave East is out here. Dave East,
Yeah.
He
got
old
that
as fuck.
Real.
He old as fuck, for real.
How old is he?
He 30.
He
Yeah,
30?
he just turned 30.
Stop.
Don Q.
That's
said-
old as
Don
fuck.
Q got
That's
that.
As old as
it.
as old as fuck to be a rapper right now. You feel
Old
me?
as fuck.
I'm old as fuck,
That's
and
not old as
I'm
fuck.
technically middle aged when it comes to this rap shit.
Nah,
Migo?
they're more of a.
I feel like Migos got bars, bro.
They're more of a hit making.
He said, "How about the frog and leap?" That's hard. They got bars, bro.
They could.
He said, "Democracy, they trying to copy me." That shit, yo.
Like that's what I'm saying. When they came into them, like when I first heard them, like dang, like they spitting a lot of like that mumble rap shit. And then when you actually get to listen to their bars, like the
Migos is saying some shit, bro. The Migos is saying some shit.
Right.
Even Future to a degree is saying some shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you the other day, bro. My one man's Angel Santana. Shout out to Angel. He is the most sophisticated version of mumble rap you will ever see. He is a mumble rap lyricist, bro. I don't know how else to put it, but that, bro.
I gotta
like,
hear this name.
I even thought like XXX was a little mumble.
He is
sometimes.
he is a mumble rapper, but there's a lot of shit you can listen to by XXX and really feel his lyricism. Stuff like Slipknot or stuff like Riot, shit that he has with Joey Badass, 888.
But dog, why is he mumbling his lyrics if they're so good?
He from Florida, dog. He from the South, lo. Like when you hear Florida niggas get aggressive, you can't understand shit that they saying.
You seen ATL, B?
Yeah, word. Yeah. If you watch T.I. lose his temper, you won't hear shit that he's saying. You feel me? And or people like Kodak Black, you feel me? Or people like Lil Wayne who from New Orleans. It's not mumble rap. It's just that these Southern niggas got thick
took
accents.
over the game by far.
Yes, bro.
That's why.
Big Crit, Sci-Hi to Prince, like these guys are
Kodak
underrated.
Black, T.I., fucking a lot of these B.O.B.
He fell off fell off the face of it.
Yo, he just came back with some shit.
He shouldn't have.
He dropped something.
Some shit. I love B.O.B. Right.
I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting spoon fed the bullshit right now.
I don't want him to rap anymore.
I'm looking for it.
I'm sorry.
B.O.B.'s my guy.
I'm sorry. I don't want him to rap anymore.
Stop it.
He's garb.
After I show, so as soon as we wrap this show up, after I show you,
he's garb.
His new joint. Okay.
Whatever happened to Tyler the Creator?
Right. Keep that same energy.
He's still one of the most influential rappers out right now. Scumfuck Flower Boy is that shit.
Flower Boy was crazy.
That he is
that project.
Him, Chief Keef, Kanye West, and
he looked at him like Flower Boy.
You never heard it? You haven't heard this shit yet?
Flower Boy's crazy.
What's the last Tyler shit you listened to?
I've never really paid attention to
I didn't
Tyler
even know
the
if I
Creator.
could get behind an album named Flower Boy, but when I heard it by like the second track in, I was like, this is gonna be a classic.
Fire, bro.
I ain't really like his style.
It's like
I didn't really like his style.
I think I'm a fucking triceratops.
That's the last shit you heard from him.
Yonkers.
That shit.
I love.
The beat was really
crazy.
Dope. That's what I liked about Tyler.
The beat is crazy.
He put exactly.
Yep.
He put like a weird kind of rap on those New York beats, so that's what I like. I love New York rap. I
love New York rap too.
Like
bro.
you gotta be able to.
Pun is one of my favorite rappers.
Bruno
ever.
Mars got a band in that joint.
Fuck Bruno Mars. Actually, nah, I'm not gonna say that. His music is lit.
Nah, Bruno Mars is.
His music is lit now, but at the time where Tyler made that diss, his music was trash as fuck. But if you're into
I
like,
can't disrespect Bruno Mars.
if you're into live instrumentation and if you're into like really pretty keys, that's all I can describe it as. It's like if you ever listen to anything that Pharrell has produced for NERD and then listen to Tyler the Creator, you'll like Scumfuck Flower Boy because it's literally him trying to copy Pharrell mixed with like Erykah Badu. That's all that it sounds like.
Which is why I love it because I love that soulful shit, that funk.
That's all that Flower Boy sounds like.
Yeah,
Is Pharrell and Erykah Badu making an album together. You feel me? That's all that it sounds like. But everybody has their preference. I was on Facebook the other day. My man's Cuddy. He was like, Dave East and Don Q are one of the best rappers in this generation right now, and I'm looking at him like, bro, you're retarded.
Bars wise,
yeah.
Dave East is a story.
Dave East, that's the crazy thing. He adds bars to stories. Like
he does.
My Uber driver put me on the Dave East. I wasn't a big Dave East fan.
He's a beast.
And he has his own. He has his own flow. A lot of
the top two lyricists.
He said that they were like better than a lot of niggas, and I don't really agree with that.
When it comes to storytelling. I don't know about
bars.
top two, but very
both.
Up there.
Both
top two.
He was just saying in general that him and Don Q are.
That's because he likes that street rap though.
Yeah,
and there's
exactly.
There's not a lot of New York style street rappers
Street
out
rap,
there that's
hardcore.
getting there. You know, like
that locks.
Word.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not
I
a
think
lot of
Davies.
That block
Yeah.
talk.
I think Davies is definitely one of the hardest rappers out. I don't think he's murdering.
Storytelling wise.
I don't think he's murking like gatekeeper
Not about
niggas.
not
MA,
like
like,
punchlines and
Young
quotes,
M.A.
but,
She
like, he tells stories.
yeah, the story.
she-
I mean, even in storytelling, I would
her
give it to
remix
Joyner.
was crazy. To,
Yo,
Like,
to
I don't
I Get
really
a Bag.
listen to
That shit
Joyner
was
Lucas,
hard.
but
Pound for
I
pound,
fucked with that shit. She
pound
bodied
for
that shit.
pound, I want everybody to tell me a rapper out there that technically, and I hate to say, I never thought I'd say this. Eminem is
Garbage.
no,
Trash.
shut the fuck up. Garbage.
Trash.
Garbage. He's not garbage.
He's trash.
He is not garbage.
He's
But
trash.
Joyner Lucas right now is in his prime, and there's no rapper out rapping Joyner
Right now?
well,
There's
this
no
is why.
fucking rapper
Yes, there
out rapping
is.
Joyner.
This is why. Joyner Lucas can
Unless
only
anybody in Slaughterhouse gets in their bag. But
he
there's
can
nobody
only
doing that.
stick
Somebody that's on.
he can only stick to
Yeah.
storytelling, and that's the only.
Because Cassidy.
No,
That's
no,
why
no.
you can't
No,
say what he
Joyner-
said.
about to say.
Cassidy
No,
doesn't
this is
want
why.
a Joyner.
This
Hold
is-
on, hold
I
on.
will listen.
And I love
Hold on,
Cassidy.
hold on, hold
This
on,
is
hold
why
on.
Joyner loses because he can only
Against who?
stick to
Against who?
storytelling.
Anybody.
Against
A
who?
lot of rappers.
A lot
I
of
will
rappers.
body story. I will body Joyner Lucas. Because of the fact he only sticks to
But when you
storytelling.
rap fast like that, you don't. Number one, you don't have to worry about what you're saying.
See, that's
right?
because
but
people-
he still is lyrical.
Nowadays-
like if you search within his lyrics, he says some shit, but he raps so fast. I've never heard a person rap faster.
That shit don't
See, that's
matter.
It's the
and
dumbest
that's why
shit.
you consider him a great rapper because you like
he's
that
so
style.
technical.
You
That's
like
not-
that
it's not even
style.
that
Somebody
style.
who
Exactly.
can give you,
Technical.
who can speak a lot about something and then that can vividly describe something and then speed up the tempo and then
If you
slow
li-
it
if you
down.
listen to
But
his
that's not
album-
all what
Rap is
rap
about.
is about.
Yeah.
Not at all.
If you dissing me, I will choose your greatest album and do it all over dissing you on each track.
So here's the thing.
Facts.
So Joyner Lucas is versatile. If you listen to his album, he's very versatile. He has slow songs, he has love songs, he has fast shit, he's got deep storytelling shit, he's got punchlines and quotables, he's got it all. But like, I do want to bring up another new wave artist, newer wave, not necessarily new like within the last like year, but Token is
I don't know
really
what the
good
fuck
at
that is.
rapping.
I've seen his
The white boy,
freestyle. That
he's
white
really
boy,
good
yeah.
at
He's a
rapping,
beast.
but he is
He
not
got
the
some
most
shit.
versatile. He's storytelling. He's
Like
dirty. He's
we're
dirty.
I don't consider him a storyteller.
He's
I
probably the
consider
closest thing to like an Eminem.
I consider him a freestyler, like an Eminem was.
Right.
Eminem was a straight.
He's so influenced
Now
by Eminem.
I feel as though any artist should, you should feel as though you're the best there is.
Right.
And freestyling wise, I really consider myself a great freestyler.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, but and this new kid Token, yo, I've
I
watched him
need to hear Token come out of his
Yo.
bag a little bit and like.
freestyling.
Body.
Yo,
I
he
want to
be
hear him a little more
snapping.
versatile.
Los too, King Los
Los
is
Yeah,
is
King
dirty
Los
too.
is crazy.
yo,
He's
but-
out of his
But
mind.
Token would be compared to that Eminem's type of
I need to hear
freestyle.
Crazy.
Token make some different type of shit though. I need to hear that. But he's dope. He's
I'd rather
dope. Shout out
listen.
to Token.
I'd rather
Shout-
listen to
Joyner's
Tory
crazy,
Lanez
bro.
before I listen to Joyner Lucas.
I like
Stop.
Joyner.
I like Joyner.
Joyner's new album is crazy.
I like Joyner as an artist. I think he definitely speaks to hip hop culture as far as like
does.
versatility and
and he's bringing
storytelling.
that competitive nature back in the game, which I love.
His lyrics are visual.
Yeah, most definitely. But
His lyrics are
his,
visual.
where is his music? You feel me? Where is his actual music? Like Evan, he's
What do you
really
mean by that?
He's a one-trick pony.
yeah.
to get,
He's
like,
pigeonholed
the reason-
into being a storyteller.
Exactly. That's why I like
just think
Fab.
I think that's where he shines the most. That's all. But he's versatile. He is. I actually, when he first came out, I said it too. I was like, "This is just him. Like that's his pocket." But he really does like. You know what I mean? Like he'll mix it up.
But this is why Lil Wayne is
But I
the
don't
greatest
think
rapper
anybody's
alive.
out-rapping him.
This is why Lil Wayne is the greatest rapper alive. Minus the Gilly the Kid shit. We're
Stop.
not going to bring that shit up anymore. Lil Wayne is the greatest rapper alive because Lil Wayne can go on a mixtape and literally talk for an hour
He's
about.
not the greatest rapper alive.
Let me finish,
He
bro.
done took it to rock.
Let me
was like-
finish.
He made a rock album that
Went gold. You feel me?
Listen, we got 3 minutes left. I am not about to sit and let you respond and then let me respond back at why he's not the best. Come on, dog.
All right, well, when you go on 5-6 different mixtapes and talk about pussy for an hour straight and
Bro,
people still
he
buy
brings
it,
up the word pussy in every verse he writes.
And
Prove
every
me
verse
wrong.
is fire.
Prove me.
He's
fucking
addicted to pussy.
and every verse is fire.
But he says
and every
pussy in
verse is fire.
Yo, Lil
And
Wayne has
every
dropped.
verse is fire.
In every verse
Lil Wayne has dropped so much bars. You gotta get. If he's not the greatest, I don't consider him the greatest because
Not the greatest.
There's different
One
reasons.
of
It's
the
such a
greatest.
broad
Damn
category.
But Lil Wayne
he's
is
a
also
goat.
a storyteller.
One of the
He's
greatest.
a goat.
He's a goat.
And I'll back you up.
He's a
Not
goat.
the greatest. One of the greatest.
He's a goat.
He is. He is a goat.
I'd rather
He's
listen.
A goat.
I'd
Yeah,
rather
He's
listen
not the
to.
goat. He's a goat.
I'd
There
rather
is
listen
no
to Wayne
the
over
goat
M.
to me. In rap, there is no the goat.
Well, if you break them off in the subgenre, like
There's a goat of a
Eminem's the
different
best technical
category.
rapper.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
categories. There's
Drake
categories.
is the goat of album sales
Yes.
and marketing.
He is
Eminem is the goat of technique.
technical. Rap.
Wayne is the goat of braggadocious rap.
Braggadocious rap. Well, Hove might have that.
No, he
Yeah,
doesn't.
Hove
Hove is the
See,
braggadocious
but
rapper.
Wayne
Hove
put
is the
bars to
braggadocious goat.
everything. He came up with crazy bars, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Wayne is the goat of mumble rap.
I would say
I'm
that.
kidding.
I would say that Jay Z. I would say that Jay Z is the goat of quotable albums. I would say
Yes.
that Jay Z is the goat of quotable metaphors. I would say that Wayne, metaphor wise, has Jay Z beat.
All right, we gotta wrap things up.
Hold on.
Drake get a lot of streams, and you got to look for one. He got an Apple deal.
Yeah.
Look at the same thing with Jay when his album dropped.
On the Samsung deal, right?
Yeah, like no, with the it was no, it was the it might have been one of them deals he that he had, and they brought $1 million from the rip.
That was the Samsung deal. But we gotta wrap this up. All right. Shout out to Evan Mercado. Shout out to his man's coming through. Y'all want to put y'all Instagram out?
You already know Skino Wild on Instagram, Skino A on Snapchat.
it's got the music on Instagram, music MUZIK. You could just search. You could go on Google and search hashtag W4YsLD. Wow.
You know where to find me. Shoe856, SHOE856 on IG, Twitter, pretty much everything else, YouTube. Go follow our Instagram for the connection. It's _connection_ radio show.
It's Hendo. Feel me? Follow me on Instagram, Hendo609 _. You can get my SoundCloud link from my Instagram, so I'm not about to plug my SoundCloud link. If you want to really connect with me on a personal level, you can find me on Facebook as Josh Henderson. I'm dropping my government name
Still
every
throwing
single
that
time,
gov.
bro. Because what's niggas
Still
gonna do?
throwing that
You feel me? But at the same time, like, yeah, you might be right. I mean,
It's so personal. It's so personal.
but nah. I just want to end this with
Hey, Josh Henderson, how are you going to feel when someone comes up to you off the street like,
that'd be so dope. But
Nah,
nah,
I meant too much shit for people to be knowing my name that much, bro.
I feel that.
saying, bro.
I feel that.
That's fucked up though.
Hey, no.
Exactly.
See, I'm Evan Mercado for business.
Hey, Josh Henderson, I
Boom.
appreciate what you did on the show there.
I'm Evan Mercado for business. Everything else,
Fuck
I
outta
am
here.
Gotham.
Facts. That's a dope
On,
ass rap name.
on stage, I am Gotham. You
That is
can't. You
dope.
call me Evan on stage, I'm not gonna respond.
Kick your ass off stage.
No, it's just really I'm on. You know how they say Beyonce is like Sasha Fierce on stage.
Yeah.
I'm really Gotham. Like
I feel
I'm a
that.
totally different person on
Yeah.
stage.
And I've seen him perform.
That's what's up.
You feel me?
Yeah, I'll be like this, like slumped. Before they call my name, I'm
Fuck boy, don't run.
Right. I love that.
All right, we
Thanks for coming out, guys. You guys are welcome anytime.
Word, you know. Shout out to the station.
Um,
Connection.
all right, we out of here.
We'll see you guys next week. We are live every Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m. Make sure you check us out.